podcast. I'm Stephanie. Thank you so much for joining me. You can find the Mocha Minutes podcast on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, TuneIn, Castbox, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Find us on any of those platforms or wherever else you catch your podcast. Also, still soliciting for ratings and reviews. If you would be so inclined, please leave us some 5 stars. Leave us some reviews. Would greatly appreciate it. Also, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Mocha Minutes on all 3 of those platforms. If you want to shoot me an email, give me some feedback. Other than on those 3 places, you can email me at mochaminutes@gmail.com. Hey there, everybody. This is Stephanie. Just want to give you guys a disclaimer about this week's episode. First, this was recorded the week of Thanksgiving. Also, there were some issues with Zoom on Wednesday. Literally, our Zoom recording crashed maybe like 4 or 5 times. So there's a good chunk of our episode that is not here because Zoom kept crashing and I have a little bit converting issues. Hopefully I'll be able to release that either later on this week or maybe sometime in December. I just want to let you guys know that you essentially are going to hear us. You're going to basically be walking into our conversation. So this week I have on Taria from What Else Is Going On. I have Obi from Odd Black Individual. And I have Kendrick from Me, You, The Housewives, and Marvel 2 podcasts. We had a little bit of a roundtable to discuss Bravo. So what you're going to hear is us discussing The Real Housewives of Potomac up until the episode after. Up until before the episode that came on the Sunday after Thanksgiving. So I just want to give you guys that update. And thank you so much for listening. So here's the episode. Enjoy, guys.
Hold on. Okay. So Zoom is just killing me. This recording, this season, this episode is going to be like, OMG, what the hell?
Yeah, we heard you had just gotten to Jamal Bryant not having that much power is what people think for some reason.
Yes, they think this like he is
jealous of me.
Right. It's like y'all are under this impression. Thank you, Kendrick. I am. I'm actually want to fuck Zoom up. I've never had this problem. Never. And I'm like, wow, Thanksgiving is tomorrow. Why are we having it today? Right. It's like, what is going on? So y'all are under the impression that Jamal Bryant was a preacher at a storefront church and not one of the largest AME churches on the East Coast. He is a mega church pastor. I know y'all just like are familiar with Creflo in his boat or his jet or his helicopter, but baby, he's Jamal Bryant. So I lead people to step away from this notion that you have to like somebody like a Monique. Because you can get bad vibes from somebody. And also people forget how that whole meeting actually was happening, because Giselle was already on this thing of, okay, I got to sit down and talk to Karen about this. And you're like, oh, by the way, this is Monique. And she was like, wait, this is what we're doing? Right, I thought we were coming to work something out. Yep. But people forget that part. It's like, oh, you just don't like her because you're jealous of her. I'm like, so according to y'all, Giselle is the light-skinned one. So why would she be jealous of Monique? Now check that.
Hello. Exactly.
A little of that color logic.
Right. It was like, girl, it's like, why would Giselle, according to y'all, why would she be jealous of her? Giselle is the light-skinned one. Y'all saying like, we know how colorism works.
Yep.
Why would she be jealous of her? They're like, oh, she got all this money. She got the 4 homes. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Because I
It just
believe
seems
that
like a
Giselle
bunch of work.
could
Who
meet
cleaning
somebody
them?
with, yeah, right.
Right.
She could meet somebody to give her that if she wanted.
And it seemed like everybody was unimpressed with the lake house.
Right.
So
right. It's like it was, and the thing about it, she focused on Giselle. And like you do realize it wasn't everybody, but also everybody's like, we're in the middle of God knows where, and you're like, we're at the lake house. Okay, so I could have slept at my house. Are the strippers coming? Are we playing games? You're like, no. Like, let's go out to the fire pit and do what now?
Right, because you wanted to be in control. And when you go back and watch the first few seasons, what does she say? I'm a person, even when she was pregnant, that has to be in control.
It have to be in control.
Yep.
So, baby, these chickens are going to come home to roost. I'm sorry. Who would like to give their hot take?
Ooh, who wants to go next? I don't know.
I know Obi got more than one.
Look, I about to say I got 2. I'm like,
I'm ready. I'm ready for
sitting on.
Come on,
go first, Taria? Or
yes.
No, I want to listen to you. I want to get y'all because y'all.
Obi, you want to go or you want me to go? Okay?
He said 1 sec. Go ahead, Kendrick.
Okay, I've got 2. I'm trying to see which one I want to give y'all. Okay, super hot take. I feel that every cast member on the Real Housewives of Potomac wants to be a green eye bandit, and let me tell you why. I know y'all looking at me like, wait, what?
Oh,
I agree with you.
We might think we never leave high school. And so we just play this stuff on a different level.
That's true.
These people are on a reality show where they're being judged by millions of people every single day. Every single one of them wanted to come in and be cool with Robin and Giselle.
Yes.
Robin and Giselle have been perpetuated as the it girls since season 1. And the reason why Karen has finally found her like big niche with the fans is because she is now going against the grain and is saying, okay, I can't be with y'all, so let me openly buck the system and hate on y'all at every single chance I get.
Yes.
Monique could never get in with the it girls, so she's like, okay, let me hate y'all at every single turn I can get
with
to.
Karen.
She had a moment where supposedly even when she was being dogged out by Giselle and Rob and all these rumors they were putting out and stuff, even still, she still forgave and wanted to be friends and throw parties with Giselle and Robin because they were the it girls of the season. Nobody wants to go against the grain. And I think one of the other reasons why Karen really hated Wendy was because she fit in with the green eye band.
Absolutely.
Right when she came in.
Yes. And even
Candace
Ashley
slipped right in. They had to get through some stuff, but they slipped right in. And now they team Candace no matter what.
Yeah, and
that's just my little opinion.
Ashley had a problem when somebody goes as far as to Google your net worth. And then when Robin sat on that reunion and Ashley was sitting a couch away, and remember, Robin was not scared when she was putting on her lipstick and was like, I would have beat her, but I can't be beaten on camera. And Ashley just looked at her and she was like, but they still got past that. And Sharice just threw Giselle a 50th birthday party intimate. And who was there, pregnant belly and all? Robin and Ashley. So you are so right. I agree with that. And if you are a person who is used to, like her pastor said, controlling and impressing, when you meet somebody who monetarily or with things has less than you, but they still look down their nose at you, you now have a problem with them because you can't figure out, why don't they like me? Why don't they like me?
But I'm so great. And the bad part about it is your own pastor looked at you and told you that to your face. It's like, if people are not impressed with your tangible things, you have an issue with them. Like, how dare you not be impressed? Because I'm not. I'm sorry, you're not going to die. And the bad part about it is, if you think that Giselle is dust, why have you been trying to impress her for 4 fucking seasons? I would be a Giselle Bryant dust, and I like Giselle. But if you're saying that it don't matter, it's like, I'm fabulous. I'm like, girl, rise above it, you clown. Why are you doing this?
Right.
Like, if you're so not for lazy mom, I'm like, ma'am, you're being a not lazy mom. You have children to raise. Leave us the fuck alone.
Yes. And from season 1, she has purported to be this busy businesswoman.
Right. It's like you've been here for 4 seasons. You've been here since season 2 because Candace got here in season 3, and ironically, she came in as Ashley's friend.
And that they've been friends for years prior.
All right. I was like,
circuit.
right. We're pageant friends. I'm like, oh, I could have told y'all that, but sure. Obi, what's your? Oh, did you want to give both of your hot takes now, or do you want to give one?
We want them all. Oh yeah, Kendrick, give the other one.
He had 2.
I kind of combined them. So my other one, hold on.
Oh wait a minute, we carry out this piece because we got notes.
Yes, look.
I kind of combined them there, but my other ones was I felt like Karen didn't like or didn't know Wendy was because before Wendy entered the scene, Karen could be considered top tier, the grind down, without having any actual accomplishments.
Yes.
And so when Wendy came in, it was like, oh shit, this is somebody that's gone to school 4 different times and gotten 4 different degrees.
And she's impressive outside of her husband.
Right.
Not the way that Karen came in. Like Karen's impressive now because a lot of people probably don't know who Ray Huger is. If you Google him, you probably can find out who he is.
Right.
But Wendy came in with people going, hey, isn't she the person that be talking about the politics on Fox News?
Hello.
She's the black woman that be getting them together every goddamn time. That's her.
Right. And got a whole lawyer for a husband and a whole doctor as a sister. And you a doctor yourself.
Yeah. And you know what, Kendrick, you bring up a very good point when it comes to Wendy versus literally all of the women on this show.
Yeah.
We got Giselle. People know her because of Jamal Bryant. We know Robin came in technically people may not, if you're not a shorty hoops person, you may not know who Juan Dixon is, but I knew who Juan Dixon is, and I don't even watch basketball.
Right.
Also from Baltimore. Then you got Ashley. She is the young woman that's married to the old white dude. You had
Did she say people? Oh no, that was Candace. People recognize her in airports. My bad.
Yeah, I was like, what airport? What girl? And when she said, I was like, you know what? This sounds like Kenya, and people think I'm Beyonce. I'm like, girl, nobody thinks that. I was like, baby, we know what Beyonce looks like. You are a tall black woman with a blonde-ish weave, but not even blonde-ish. It's like maybe a highlight or two. Girl,
my favorite part of that was when Portia looked over at Kenny and said, "I'm Solange."
I was like, what? But the thing about this is like
that one to Portia.
Right. Yes, that was.
It was like, Kenya, you don't think maybe they recognize you because you were Miss USA? Because some people really do follow the pageant world, so they might be like,
oh, my cousin, I remember distinctly back like when they announced like who the cast was going to be for season 5.
And she knew who Kenya was.
I told her, I was like, oh my God, like Kenya Moore is going to be on season 5. She's like, oh my God, I know Kenya Moore. Like I remember watching her and like being in awe because like black girls weren't winning Miss USA.
Exactly.
Like that.
Exactly.
So, like, she knew exactly who I was talking about.
Black girls that did not look like Vanessa Williams.
Yeah,
not winning.
And the bad part, a lot of people don't even remember that she was in the pageant world. They just know her as the singer and the actress. But baby, they took her crown because they were coming at her, like light skin and all. It's like, oh baby, they like get your nigger ass right on out.
With them Playboy pictures, they were like, you're done.
Right.
Yeah.
So I enjoy her because it's like, besides Wendy, and it's like she didn't come in there as the wife of so and so or the ex of so and so. Everybody else did that except Wendy, and that's a problem.
That is such a good point also because I feel like Giselle, if she likes you, she likes you. If she don't, she doesn't care what you have. She did not jump in and like Wendy based on what she had. They naturally bonded as
because I think now she likes Candace a little bit more because she didn't really, she was like, oh, you cute. And that's also probably the age difference. I'm like, because Candace is what, 34?
And
Giselle's 50 now. So it's kind of like, it's an age difference. So that plays a part of it.
Which is crazy because Robin and Giselle have an age difference. I think I'm older than Robin. I'm 43. Robin is either 41.
Yeah, 42. Right. And it's like their age difference is like you forget.
Yes.
And it's like, why don't you treat her like a little sister? Because you don't. But Karen doesn't treat Robin like a little sister. It's super weird when you think about it.
And I think Karen thinks she can son Robin, but Robin is one of those people that you can't son her because she doesn't care enough. She's not even gonna get mad. She's like,
that is so Baltimore. Y'all just don't understand how Baltimore that really, really is. It's like
and her likability is like 100% in the fact that she's the one that's down to earth.
Yeah,
and I think she knows that. So she's like, what do I care that you're married to the Black Bill Gates? Like, me and my husband love each other, and we all the way over here. Like, we good.
And she used to have that life. I think she probably had more money than Karen at one point. Like, she used to have that.
Because it's like Juan was in the NBA, and all their money is guaranteed. So
yellow.
It's like,
and I think Karen thought she was going to come in. You remember how she tried to school
you don't
Giselle?
live in Potomac.
Yes, and she tried to school Giselle with the etiquette book when Giselle had those horrible bang bangs.
I was like, let me tell you about etiquette, ma'am. You live in Great Falls. What are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, but most of them didn't live in Potomac, and it's like, that's fine, because Potomac is full of white people,
except for Sharice, and
Sharice. Sharice was the only one.
Monique made sure to let it be known that my zip code is 21 blah 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 blah. Like
she made sure,
and she made sure we knew that the Redskins owner lived down the street from her, and the owner of the Marriott Vacation Club. And she's like, "Isn't that funny? I have a vacation home with them."
Girl, okay. See, I don't know what Taria's hot take is about to be. We gonna let Obi go because, well,
Taria gonna be the season finale. Yeah,
she really
is. I'm fighting everybody when they got to cut to commercial.
Right, cut to commercial. We're doing it live.
All right. Well, my hot take is okay. Not because they can't get in good with the not just because they can't get in good with the Green-Eyed Bandits, but because none of the three of them know how to be a friend to anybody. All they have is each other.
Yes,
Each one of them fall out with everyone else that they've called a friend. Karen has fallen out with Sharice, Robin, Giselle, Katie. And Karen was friends with all of these women, supposedly, before the show even started. She's fallen out with every single one.
Wow.
Right.
Lauren Hill said, how you gonna win when you ain't right within?
Exactly. Perfect.
That is a scorching take.
It is.
You think about their relationships. It's like, wow.
And that speaks volumes to Sharice. For Sharice to be able to get past Giselle potentially messing up her money by saying she was with the firemen, but Karen and Giselle can't get past their little thing, but Sharice and Giselle are legit friends, and Giselle was talking about her fireman, and Sharice
that could have messed up her settlement.
Right.
That makes a lot of sense.
For Ashley and Sharice to be close enough for Ashley to get on an Instagram live and say Sharice never spoke on rumors. Sharice never said anything.
Sharice had nothing to do with this rumor. So now it's like, the thing about this is supposed to be your buddy, Monique. So interesting to watch how Monique is going very hard for Karen in the social meds, but she's not doing it for Ashley because, one, you did her a favor. She did you a favor. She helped to make sure your ass didn't stay out of jail. She gave you a favor. She's done with you. So you're not going to just drag down her friend.
And for Karen to say that she is neutral, is she looking at, hey, Candace, let me see the paperwork you filed with the police. But she's looking at paperwork that Monique filed. Now, when she said that, and she said, when she was trying to act like she had some hot discovery about what Candace said, I'm sorry. I understand that your grandmom said common sense will get you far, baby. In that case.
You literally said self-defense. I was like, Karen, this is not the big joker that you think. This is not even a third joker. If we being completely honest,
it's not a little joker, big joker. No,
it's not.
It's the spade.
Right. Let's give it the 4 spade. Meaning that if everybody, you ain't got no clubs, it's a cut book. That's what you got.
Exactly.
You don't have no big joker. You may have a cut book with this, but even still, it's like, wait a minute. But you're acting like those people. The people you're like, y'all, I know more than y'all do, and I'm sitting here like they were all in the room. You can say that shit to Ashley. You can't say it to people that were literally in the room.
In the room.
They saw everything that happened. It's like, what are you doing?
When Ashley was eating you up in that SUV ride in France, and Candace stepped in and was basically like, stop taunting her, just say it. And when Ashley said, she's told me things in confidence, I thought about something. Robin this season said, Karen said at a dinner that must not have been on camera that she was tired of Ray's penis, right? She didn't like it. Go back to season 3 in that van. What did Ashley said? You said
exactly.
Ray's penis.
It was
Ashley must have been at that same dinner.
Correct. It was similar. It wasn't the exact same thing, but I'm like,
but it was
why
like,
do I feel like I heard this before?
Yes.
Right.
So everybody's like, oh my God, I can't believe Robin said that. I'm like, Ashley already said this.
And if nothing else, what should show people that Karen is different is Robin didn't come at her any type of way, but what you would say to your girlfriend. If we were all together and I went to bed early and Obi went to bed early and Kendrick and Stephanie hung out, then I come down the next morning and Kendrick was like, man, Stephanie was, we drank that Fireball last night. And I said, Steph, I heard you was down in that Fireball. You would say, girl, you wouldn't say, what are you talking about?
I'd be like, yes, girl. I'm like, and I ain't never doing that again, because me and Kendrick made some daggone phone calls, called some people up. Said, let me see that. Let me see the veins in that dick. And then it's like, what the hell? What are you
Wait. Obi, we missed it. We were asleep.
They're like, what happened? Be just like Karen. Because the thing about it is, Karen was acting like, what do you
Robin
mean? I'm
just
like,
made it up.
Made it up. And then the whole thing with Wendy, and she's like, why would she do it? Because at first she was like, why would she say it? She's like, oh, okay, well, I understand the context. She's like, Giselle trying to make it shady. It was like, but here's the thing. Giselle didn't just meet your ass. Wendy did. Wendy, you've never talked like you've been on a committee with Wendy, but you've never had any personal conversation. So if somebody I was friendly with or known for a few years said this in front of a stranger, it's like, okay, I'd be a little, I'm like, I know we not all the way jumped cool,
right,
but I would still be like, is everything okay? Like, why would you think something is wrong? I'm like, well, because you're saying that Ray owes you money because you helped him settle his tax debt, which hi, why are you acting like Ray is your neighbor? He's your fucking husband. What are you doing?
Right.
I'm like, hot take. I'm sorry, hot take number 2.
And my thing is,
Ray's your fucking husband. He doesn't owe you shit.
Right. My thing is, even keep that same line of thinking going. Remember that same conversation. Robin asked her, I heard you got, I heard you were good on Fireball last night or whatever.
That's what.
And Karen, when she denied it, Robin turned to Wendy and said, see, that's that shit I'm talking about.
Yes. And she said it to her face.
She sure did.
Yeah.
So
it seems like that's a recurring theme with Karen.
It's like you trying to be prim and proper, like, no, don't talk about me. It's like, we're just joking. It's like, we're at the lake house. We are on vacation. We are not at work. Well, I know the camera's on and you must think it's work. Because obviously, but it's like, wait a minute, we just chilling. Well, I can't joke with you now.
And they've all said it. Karen said it. Robin said it. Ashley said it. Sharice has said it. And I will say, out of everybody, people are like, oh, Sharice trying to get her wine glass back. That's why she's showing up. Number one, I will say this: if a show is built around me, and then I'm saying
exactly, it was built around Sharice. It was built because she was the person who lived in Potomac.
Thank you.
Mariah Huck deserves to be on Married to. Okay, we're not talking about. Okay, never mind.
Same thing. Same energy.
See, that's what happens. This is what happens when you can't just apologize to Quad.
Exactly.
You get your fucking spot back. But no, you wanted to not.
Wait a minute now.
What? You're so stupid. Get away. Anyway, like
Mariah. Huck.
No, right. I enjoy Mariah. I don't enjoy. So that's the thing. I enjoy Mariah. I don't like frenemy of Quad and frenemy of Heavenly Mariah. It actually is annoying. It's like, girl, shut the hell up. It's like, and stop, and y'all stop trying to make them friends. They are not.
Now, yes, after like 2 or 3
that's my thing.
I was like, don't make them friends.
It's like after a while, it's like, girl, I'm like, one, and here's the thing. Quad don't have to forgive shit. She don't have to be her friend just because y'all want to hang out. Toya, she can come and sit in your 2-story closet with you and drink wine. I am not going to stop you. Leave us the fuck alone. By the way, how the fuck are you friends with Toya Bush Harris? I'd have beat her ass every time. I'm sorry, my foot would never be off her fucking neck ever. So you can forgive Toya, you can't forgive Quad, bitch. I know you fucking lying to me,
We see
At
that
some
in
point
Housewives,
during
though.
this recording, I got a notification that Toya's home is for sale. Now I don't know what.
Get out. Get
No,
out.
you didn't. No, you
Get
didn't.
out. Get out. Wait. So
sorry,
I can have access to this 2-story
Right.
closet. Ooh, bitch. Man,
I don't. You know.
Heavenly is such a hater that she's like, oh, I need a 2-story closet. First of all,
And she would buy it.
y'all didn't
Heavenly
realize
would buy
that 2-story closets were existed. I didn't know till I saw
I didn't
Bush
listen.
Harris's house. I was like,
Me
oh
neither.
shit.
Actually, you know what? There was a show.
Now I wonder if
It was
Beyonce
the
has a
Real
2-story
Housewives.
closet.
Was
Now
it the
I
Real
wonder if Beyonce has one.
Housewives of Dallas? And they went to Leanne went to that lady's house for a donation.
Yeah.
and she had
That's
that
right.
Oh, she did. See, we didn't even.
Oh, Heidi
Now I'm
Jones.
wondering.
Heidi,
Wait.
yes, Heidi. Yep.
Oh my God.
Come on, Taria with the Bravo history.
Listen,
Come
I'm
on.
like, wait, I've seen it.
I mean, she's not the
Never
morally
really thought about
corrupt
it.
Faye Resnick, but she's morally corrupt. I'm sorry.
Listen,
I can't even look at Faye Resnick. I'm like, where is the morally corrupt Faye Resnick? Why is
Resnick,
she not
exactly.
here?
Why is she
Right.
not here?
I'm sorry.
Back to Karen. I believe when they try to shade all these Monique stands, you can be a fan, but stands seem like the sense just goes out the window, the logic. But
Like, yeah.
always try to shade Charisse. But I will say, Charisse had the balls to admit, yes, I brought Kendall around to get back at you.
And also, Monique is full of
was in
shit
on it
because
too.
she's like, it was her idea. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Did Kendall film with Charisse or did she film with you?
Because she could have dropped the ball when Charisse stopped filming and Candace bumped up to that house.
Exactly. So why were you filming with Kendall?
And then somebody told me she let that man's business loose. Somebody said it's the truth. It don't matter if it was the truth.
No, that's what homegirl said. She said it's a difference. What I did, talked about Sherman, is different because that was the truth. Baby, it's not your fucking truth to spill.
Thank you.
And you're like, it was on the news. I'm like, baby, then that means every blogger and every researcher for the Bravo show can do their own fucking research.
But it's
girl,
funny how none of
you
them
dead ass wrong. Right. Period. Because you did it like you were doing it to hurt Giselle. So it's like, don't sit here. I'm like, I'm Miss Perfect. You. I'm so petty. I'm like, yes, we know you're petty because you bringing up Sherman's business to hurt Giselle. Yeah. As if technically, because I'm like, Giselle, you ain't pay this right. Because I'd have been like, this makes you look bad. It doesn't make me look bad.
What I did like was when Karen tried to get on it and bring Kendall to that event she was having, and Giselle walked right by and went on right.
It was like, baby, I'm not new to this. I'm like, if you want to do this, we can do this, but you don't want me to be petty because you say I'm a hater. I'm hating on you. I'm like, oh, okay. Either you want me to not be petty or no. Because we can do it. Because this is my second hot take. That is a fucking terrible picture of Karen in that fucking hat. Okay. However,
excuse me, everybody. I have to dive right quick. Hold on. Wait.
Look over here. Look over here.
I get what people are saying. So here's the thing. Her talking about it wants to be youthful. I'm like, see, Robin, don't do this. Don't backpedal.
Yeah.
It's a fucking terrible photo. It wasn't a good photo of you. And this is what you should have said. You should have called Stephanie and I would have told you what to say. You should have said to Karen before the group and said, Karen, I need to tell you. So whoever said that they should have pulled her aside, they're right. She should have pulled Karen aside and said, Karen, I need to talk to you about the photos. So I saw the photos and they are not good photos of you. I know we can get better photos of you. So I'm not going to put these photos up of you yet. The profile photo is not bad. However, when she said youthful, I'm like, girl, you 40 some years old. Don't do this. We're not doing youthful. What you could have said is just said, I wanted something a little bit smiley. So Karen, can we schedule a time so we can redo your photos and then add your photos later? That is less than when he's going, oh my God, where's Karen? So I'm like, no, you should have.
That's why she's so good on this show, because when did messy ass fit right in?
Right, because she was just like, wait a minute, because just like if you're saying we all took photos to do for the website. I saw it as messy, but I didn't see it as messy because it was like, wait, you're showing us all his photos. Wait, where is Karen's photo? It's like, because one, it seems weird if you're cashing on them, people being a fan of your show. Why would you not have a fan favorite? I agree with that. Karen should be on this. Like, you could have just came at her differently.
And
especially if you're thinking you and Karen are supposed to be friends.
She could have kept that picture, and so she doesn't end up as an embezzled company. All Karen's age group would have flocked to that hat and bought
right. Because the thing about it is because Taria, you know, people who wear the young hats.
Yes.
They are baseball caps, just like that, but they just have a whole bunch of stuff on it.
Yes.
Robin's not that far off. So people like, this is a dumb idea. I'm like, so I've never seen the.
You know what?
The reason it's great is because of those satin linings.
I was going to say, white women
don't
know that. Right. White women don't know that. We know that about
like, put the satin hats on. Oh, good. It's not messing up my hair. Because after so long, it's going to fuck up your hair.
Listen.
Like, you're having a satin line. A lot
now
of
my wrap is flat. I got to dry it again.
Right.
Right. It's like, so it's like she's hitting a different niche with padding the satin lining. So I was like, no, those were terrible pictures of Karen. Also, I agree, they're terrible pictures of Ashley. Because I'm sorry,
I've never seen Ashley's face look that full before either.
Right, but it's also the hair. It was like, if you know you're modeling hats, bitch, you flat on your hair before. You could have fucking flat on it. Or at least pulled it back into like a tight, low pump, nice chignon. You could have done that.
Now this is a hot take because y'all know I haven't been able to stand Ashley since she was on that swing with Katie Ross talking about. She Googled and they got $25 in their account. I was done with her then.
Oh yeah, it was like, baby,
she was on that swing.
She was on that swing,
sitting in that fucking playground.
Done with her then. But I will say, I liked her picture. I liked her picture with the hat, and maybe because it made her look like a kid and she's childish, probably.
Oh, that's probably it. I'm sorry, because the person with the best photo was Candace.
Candace killed.
It was Candace. It was like, I kind of like Wendy's, but I didn't like the lighting on what. See, I was like, I'm looking at these photos. I'm like, Wendy's photos good.
Let me get on her Candace's photo.
And how dare that Katie Ross look alike when somebody says you look like who? If you don't get you're fired.
Excuse me. Nobody don't remember Katie Ross except us. There's so many people who are talking about the show who don't like, oh my God, where's Katie? I'm like, a lot of people hated Katie first season.
Oh, y'all don't like me. I did not like Katie, and I liked when Giselle shut her up and said, oh, you want to talk about the photo shoot when you peed on the couch? Katie said.
Because Katie had this so the thing, because remember last season with the whole Amistad thing, I'm like, this is very interesting coming from the black, the woman who did not want to be called black. She wanted to be called biracial because she didn't want to forget her father. Yes. I'm like, baby, we can't forget. I'm like, and also that's not how this works.
And tried to make Giselle and Robin
feel like you can't be my complexion and your complexion and not have any whiteness. I'm like, that's not what Robin said. She was saying she has two black parents.
Right.
You don't. That is different. I'm like, of course there is going to be, I'm like, we are black people. If you're of a certain complexion, if you're not
of rape.
Right. Yeah. Right. There's rape that happened in your timeline. And
it can skip just like eye color, just like Corey's mom has a sister. Mm-hmm. The sister is maybe a little bit darker than me. Mm-hmm. Her daughter, me and Corey went to a funeral and I asked Corey, because he hadn't seen her, what did your aunt adopt her? He was like, I don't know. That girl is lighter than Robin, Giselle, and Ashley put together. Her daughter, and looks just like Corey's mom, who is my complexion or a little shade. Right. So it happens.
Right. Because it's like my grandmother and my great uncle, they have the same parents. They are two different skin tones. So that's not how that works.
Right.
So it's like, I'm glad she put Katie in her place. I'm like, but that's
Giselle. You act like you don't want to be black.
Can I just point out that I'm on the embellished website? Y'all know I'm messy. I'm on the embellished website right now. And the group photo is actually the first thing that pops up on the website.
With Karen in it.
Okay.
Karen is on the site, but then when you scroll down,
okay,
the individual hats, Karen's nowhere to be seen. But Candace's picture is the first one. Immaculate.
Because she is the best looking one. And I don't know. And they all use the same damn they use the same damn photographer. So the thing about it is, it's like, do you honestly want him to?
Therapist, everybody.
Right. It's kind of like you go, you want someone to tell you? And if you look at the group photo, like they look super cute. So does Robin. Robin looks really cute in the hats too.
Yeah.
So it's like youthful probably
That's
isn't
my
the
thing.
word, but she should have just pulled Karen aside and told her that. She was like,
And
I got the pictures back and they don't look that well. And I know it's not just for my business. It doesn't make you look good. So
Yes.
I would prefer to reshoot you. Is that okay? I can find some time for the photographer. Is that okay?
and if she wanted youthful, you would have just had to chalk that particular picture up.
Right.
Like that's it. You would have just had to chalk it up. She could have even put the one of her and Karen together. That was a nice picture, I thought.
Right.
Correct. It's
But
like,
they was all Karen's fans were gonna go buy that floral hat and spray La Dame, and they would have been on their way.
pretty much. It's like, girl, it's like, what you doing? It's like, anyway. Okay. Anybody else have any hot takes?
I feel like,
Okay.
yeah, don't she look good? I
Right.
feel,
Website because I'm scrolling through reviews and everything.
me too. I was yesterday because I wanted to buy a hat. I said they gone.
I
They
think the
gone.
one that
No,
Giselle had
Kendrick.
in her, I think her story. I think Giselle wore it in her story
Yes.
or posted it. It was like, it's super cute. I was like, yeah, Giselle supports her friend.
Yes.
Don't get it twisted. Like the fans are trying to make it seem like the hats are ugly, but that's only because Karen isn't in the hat.
Yes.
Correct.
The hats actually,
The pads
first
are
of all,
cute.
Robin found a little niche in the market.
Yes,
With the
she did.
satin in it. I was
Black
like,
satin hats
oh.
and- right.
And they're not expensive either. I have seen
No.
people
Right.
with other merch and it's a lot more expensive. And I'm like, yeah.
If Dorinda can be in New York selling that high shit she's selling,
Yes.
Robin can be in Baltimore and Potomac
Correct.
selling $29.
I'm like, y'all, y'all been like, oh my God,
Exactly.
nobody ain't buying those hats. I'm like, yeah,
And
okay,
why
sure,
not?
they
You would
not.
pay-
selling out. So
You
yeah,
would-
somebody's buying them.
I love a baseball cap. And I would
Correct.
but I would
Look, hello.
well, Kendrick, I'm not even gonna lie because I do my brim and I know how I like it. I was about to say, run me that hat because I like when me and Corey record tonight. If he records, because Corey, they wouldn't let me off Zoom. They locked my Zoom.
Don't do this. Wait a minute.
blame
You know what? Don't make me pull
Corey,
this
we are
little
not
part.
to blame. Hold
Wait,
on.
let me pull this little part out of the. I'm like, yeah. So here, Corey, listen to this part right
Pull the
here.
part out so you can listen to it right here, Corey.
The magic of editing.
Right. And like, "Droop." So Corey, this is the part I want you to pay attention to where we did not kidnap your wife. Okay, carry on.
I'm like, my computer locked up. But for me, I feel like what, huh? Corey said it's all y'all fault. He believed me. I just took him to DC for the weekend. He's gonna believe me until he listens to the episode.
Exactly. I'd be like, yeah, okay.
Right.
So
Pay $29 for that hat if I like the person and because of the protectiveness of what it does. And that's why sometimes I have a hard time, even though I like listening to my fellow podcasters that are non-Black. But I have a hard time sometimes when I hear them. Because that hat's so stupid. What does she mean? She cornered the market because you don't need the silk lining in your hat. So a Black woman will understand that. I saw a white woman comment on Every Hue Beauty and say, she says every hue and there's only 8 because it's not for your hue. And she probably actually does have a hue for you, boo.
girl, please go to
We
Maybelline.
come in all colors. Right.
Hello.
It's like Maybelline is still there, sweetheart.
Bye. Get out it. Right.
L'Oreal,
People get so
everybody.
offended.
Right.
People get so offended when somebody comes out with
What about us? I'm like, ma'am, you have always had something for your crusty crater pale ass skin. Please leave us the fuck alone.
We've had to mix colors. I told my dad was like, well, what would I say when somebody comes and says, basically they talk about Black entertainment television or this or that. I said, I would stop them. Black people, stop trying to see. We have been so ingrained to see both sides because our parents have taught us, you never want to be proud. You never want to be arrogant. They never even want us really to celebrate our successes because we don't want to be looked at as arrogant. But I told my dad, you tell them if Black people and your people started at the starting line together and came up off the running block together, then I would see your side. But the fact that you were halfway around the track already and I had to not only get to you but still try to beat you, I don't hear nothing you have to say. So if we got Black entertainment television, if we got Black wine, if we have Black books that say
y'all don't
Black
give
girls
this
only,
much smoke
guess
to the
what?
Latin Grammys. Y'all
Exactly.
sure don't come after
Nor
them.
do they for Telemundo.
Nope. They're like, why y'all got BET? Y'all don't say nothing to Telemundo because y'all like the telenovelas like I do.
But once again, they don't do their research.
What'd you say?
Say that again, Obi. Say that again.
I
Obi.
said because there's on Telemundo.
Exactly. But even in our magazines, Essence and Ebony, we have white people. So we really never had it. And the person that seated Robert Johnson the money for BET was a white man because he had black radio stations and wanted to make money off the backs of black people. So he ceded the money to him so he could create it. So go ask your great granddaddy why there's a BET, okay?
Oh,
yeah.
She's sick of y'all shit, okay?
I'm sick of y'all shit. I said I'm so tired of hearing people speak on. I think that's what's hard for me with Bravo now. Mm-hmm. To me, it's like if it was Jill Zarin that had the hat, would y'all be speaking on it like that?
No, because y'all buy them fucking rugs.
Thank you. But y'all can't let Robin. Y'all talk about Robin's the broke one. Robin's the broke one. On every single franchise.
Excuse me. You can't owe $90,000 in taxes if you ain't making no fucking money.
Thank you. And Stephanie, we live in Maryland, so that townhouse that Robin lives in is probably more than some houses.
Excuse me. Maryland real estate is high as shit.
And I heard that
it's like $2 or $3 million homes in Potomac. Please, yes. And it'd be the same size as one in Georgia. It's just different states.
And the townhouses are $500,000.
Yes, so they are.
Townhouses that Robins were living in.
Some of them are $750,000. You'd be like, what the hell?
Yes.
Where?
Yes. Yes.
Where is this, girl? I know you fucking lying.
You said off of North Ave, man. You can keep that.
Child.
Let me stop.
Yeah. Okay, so what has really united us, and we can thank Obi for this because we came into this like, oh, this is gonna be a mess because I think we all bought into the we drunk the Kool-Aid of Candace is mouthy and she need to be humbled. That lesson that we seemingly love to teach to Black women. We always got to humble a Black woman, especially a darker skinned Black woman. Like, you too loud. You can't be too loud. Stop making a scene. Stop embarrassing us in front of these white people. We can't do this today. So we all bought this except for Obi. He was like, y'all need to pay attention because to Candace's credit, she did say, y'all are going to have to watch the season and y'all are going to see it. I'm not going to say nothing. It's like, because one, the day after that fight happened, so a lot of people are under this impression that Candace is overreacting or that she is being ridiculous.
And it makes me so mad.
That her trauma is not real because we're making it this 45-second thing that happened on television as if that is not her life. Because a lot of people don't realize that, and it wasn't even after the fight. It was 2 days after the story happened, the day after. Calling Candace a piece of shit. You deserved everything you got. Fuck you, you bitch. People sent her death threats.
Yep.
People went after her.
She lost a job because of it.
She lost a job because a lot of people were like, and I think something happened with her and CeCe Peniston, which is very odd because at the same so I went back and listened to the Black Socialites because I was suggested by a IG page called All True Tea.
Oh, I like that.
Pay attention to his talk with, I think, DJ Quicksilver's wife, and I think it's Angela Silva. That's her wife. She has her own podcast. She seems very fun, by the way. I like her. She's friendly with both Monique and Candace, and to her credit, she didn't take neither one of their sides. She actually was neutral. Like, look, I'm not doing this with y'all. So in that talk, they brought up like CeCe, like there was an event she came to for CeCe Peniston, and because of the fight, it was around that time, CeCe didn't like it because it's like she's here to like advertise her music, whatever new songs she's coming out with, her new music EP, I'm not exactly sure. And all people could talk about because Candace was there was the fight that happened at the taping in October. So it's kind of like, and the thing is, that is actually true because if you check any blog posts, a few of them, to their credit, have deleted their videos about this around this time. It's magically disappeared.
Magically.
They have right, and it's kind of like you go, no, baby, say what you said. You can actually say this is what I was told. Because to
Right.
may he rest in peace, Kyle's credit, he maintained, he said this in September, that he maintained that was the story that was told to me.
Exactly.
And so I give him a little space on that, because one, it's like, if only one side is telling you a story, nobody from the other side is telling you a story. You're like, oh, okay, I guess this is the story. And she's like, this is what I was being told. And so the reason Chris Bassett came after him is because of what he put out. And
yes.
he maintained like, oh, I'm a small page. I'm like, yeah, but girl, don't do that. Because one, that's how people get big, when you break certain things, because that happened to Beyond the Velvet Rope.
Yes, sure did.
Rope, he wasn't a totally small podcast, but he did. I don't even know who the person was, and all of a sudden, everybody wanted to listen to his podcast. They're like, "Oh, well, who?" I was like, "Oh, well, you got this person. Who else you got on here? Oh, who else you bringing up?" That's how people get big. So they go like, "Well, I'm a small thing, and I don't know why he got upset about that." It's like, because his wife came home crying because her friend beat on her.
Huh.
He had to sit here and listen to her complain. I'm like, y'all, we only see a certain amount of this camera.
Yes.
He's with her all goddamn day, just like Chris Samuels.
And
There's also pay attention to how Chris Samuels reacted to this fight. He was like, this sucks, because I like them.
That is what he said.
He's like, that's
embarrassing.
Yeah.
And she's jealous because on Watch What Happens Live, she said, I didn't, after the fight, I didn't have time to sit down and someone bring me tea. I'm a mother.
You still could have got fucking tea. What you doing?
So Monique said
like,
that.
It's not that hard to make.
It's really not.
But notice how Chris that next day had Candace's tea made. Are you okay? And talked to her. So, Monique watched that. And I don't believe that I won't speak on their marriage because everything is different, but I will say, based on what we see and his reaction to that fight, it's not all gravy. On top of that, for her to say, when Andy asked her a question that had nothing to do with Candace getting tea, I'm a mother, I'm busy, I didn't have time to sit down and have somebody bring me tea.
But she wasn't mom shaming for the fight. Remember when she said
she was like, I'm not like,
she wasn't mom shaming. Oh no.
I was mad that all of them said, she can't shame you. You're not a mom. You know good and daggone well.
You know what she meant.
Exactly.
You know what she meant. It's like, why are you saying like, you don't know tired, you don't have no children? It's like, I'm sorry, I don't need a child to be tired. That's not how bodies work.
And that's like somebody, that's like somebody saying, you don't understand because you don't have kids. If it had been said in that way, y'all knew exactly what she said.
You knew what she was saying, but it's like, because it's like, all of this is sent back to, it's because you don't like Candace. Because nobody has dispelled my hypothesis about this. Nobody has said like, that's not true whenever I say it.
Exactly.
If Monique had put her hands on Karen Huger, none of y'all would be on her side, and you goddamn well know it. And nobody would have ran with the story that Karen threw a drink on Monique and she hit her. That would have never gotten out. But because essentially people didn't like Candace, because y'all didn't like her calling another black woman a bed wench, you didn't like her calling her a roach, which ironically, typically darker skinned black women are the ones that are called roaches.
Yes.
So it was like, girl, and the thing about it made it seem like it was one-sided, and it was not. It was like, girl, what you said to Chris Bassett is, maybe you should tell your wife to get that umbilical cord from around her neck. Baby,
that's the
started this.
Exactly.
You came after her first. I'm like, girl, I'd have stomped your ass out. I told you get the fuck out of my house.
And she said, I was not going to come down here in your whatever with you. I'm giving you one more time. She told it like, I'm giving you one more time to say something. And then it's funny how they want to bring up that Candace, because she said hood rat, which like that Vice article written by the woman that has the same hue as Meghan Markle. That incorrect Vice article, which did journalism no favors, respectability in politics, respect your craft and report facts. Anyway, in that article, because listen.
See, that's the thing. I hadn't read it. So when Taria read it, I went, oh God. I was like, oh God. Because it's like I gave her 1/8 of a half of Vienna figure when she brought up that Monique don't represent all Black women.
Exactly.
You're right. She
You're
don't.
right.
And it's
But
like,
then to go in on Candace and
it was like you wrote this very much, and she did this. I'm like, girl, shut
and
the
use
hell
the
up.
term in her most Becky voice, which what you're trying to do is say she was talking white, and you're using that as an insult, but yet you want to talk about respectability in politics. Anyway,
how are you saying that about the person that got beat on? It's like,
that got beat on.
Like, I'm sorry, we are not children. If you are a fucking adult and you put your fucking hands on somebody, you are going to fucking jail. Period. I know y'all goddamn.
We have retainers. I was screaming.
Excuse me. I'm like, we are adults. This is not. Excuse me. When you were a child and you fought, you went to the principal office. You got suspended and or expelled. And it's like, but I say that to say there were fucking consequences.
There's a consequence.
Under this impression that there are no consequences for you as an adult. And like, everybody's like bringing up, it should be like the hood. I'm like, see, it's dip. No.
That's what Corey was saying. In the street, you talk
in the hood. This is two people who are from the hood. You're talking about two hood people fighting. Yeah, no one probably would get sued.
And they're not on the show unless it's the one that was the other one, Love and Hip Hop, and even all the people on Love and Hip Hop.
Anything on VH1.
They get because one, and it's like I know people like to like compare Portia and Kenya. No one has ever said that Kenya was dead ass wrong to press charges against Portia. Literally, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, of course she is."
And not only that, they talked about how beautiful Portia's mugshot was.
And she did. I was like, well, damn, bitch. I'm like, she's like, I gotta look cute because I'm about to go to jail. Is that what we're doing?
Right. But the fact that they bring up that article brought up, tried to make it seem like because Candace said hood, that she was basically trying to separate.
That was after you put her
better.
A reach.
But
that was a reach.
Exactly. What did Portia do at the reunion when she looked like Elvis? So reach.
It was like, ma'am, it's like the bad part about it is nobody had a problem with that. The only person who had a problem with that, I'm sorry, can't get my words together. The person who did not have a problem with that is Monique.
Exactly.
She didn't even mention that. She was like,
same article,
I heard her say that I was fired and I was triggered. I'm like, girl, shut the hell up.
Right. Like, she's not your boss. But
I'm like, she can't fire you.
Not only that, in that same article, that lady wants to bring up how in season 1, when Giselle said, all I see is this hair, talking about Ashley, like as if she was talking about the texture of Ashley's hair. But nobody said anything.
It was just big because there's a lot of hair.
Exactly.
She has nice thick hair or pieces in. I don't know. I don't care.
Nobody said anything. Nobody said anything.
Hey, clip it in, bitch, or let it just blow it up.
We know that. We know Giselle doesn't. She still has long hair when she takes it out. It's like y'all all do it. But why did nobody say anything about Ashley telling Candace her hair looked like hay, dried hay? When
the
she
thing is, like, everybody's under this impression that it's one-sided. A lot of the things that if Candace is like, you have two people, well, technically 3, but she worked it out with Charisse, and Charisse is no longer here. So it's like, it's 2 people she has gotten into. She didn't even, if Candace is such a hothead, mouthy person, she would have gotten into Katie's face when Katie had first met her and said, oh, she's like, oh, I got married. Oh, if I had met you a couple of days, I would have told you not to get married. I would have told you not to do it. But she's a hothead, remember? And she was just like, oh, okay. She's like, and then here comes Chris. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. She's like, that is not towards you.
Right.
Candace didn't even address it. She didn't say nothing. She didn't even do nothing in the thought bubbles.
Remember when she wasn't addressing anything, and Monique said,
girl, if that was me, I'd have take these boots off and I got it right in her face.
Oh, listen, I was getting ready to put together an iMovie, and I'm going through every season. And because Peacock won't let you screen record because you're supposed, so I put it on my computer and I screen record from my phone.
Xfinity either.
Wait, screen record.
You cannot screen record off of Peacock.
Xfinity,
right? The app.
The app. Yep. So what I do is I just put it on
you gotta get on YouTube. Look, there you go.
Let me tell you, one day I was trying to find something. I pulled Peacock up on my laptop and was like this. trying to get it like hold it perfect. I'm gonna get you, Peacock. Okay,
I'm gonna get you, Peacock. You are such a mess.
I said I was gonna put together an iMovie of every time Monique got aggressive and then say, "Here's your character witness, Candace. Call me. I got you."
It's like the thing about it is, yes, because I will say this to us here, we are very much team nuance. Obi is team Candace. I just want to let y'all know.
I was just
very much so.
I was getting ready to say that. I just told Corey, y'all can ask him. I said, I'm not that I was trying to see the middle. I was trying to point out facts, but I've had enough. I told Corey that this weekend. I've had enough. I'm going to say team Candace.
Because everybody else, y'all can like, I feel like it's documented out in the Potter podcast verse that I'm like, I'm team both sides, but I'm leaning more towards Candace because here's the thing. I don't like fucking liars. I don't fucking lie to me or don't act like I don't have eyes.
Yes.
Like that's not what happened. And you're still maintaining this. And I'm like, okay, so that's not what happened. And I need you to stop. Right. And I also need people to, I'm like, I get that Candace may not be your cup of tea. Some of y'all are fans of Ashley and good to hell luck, everybody. I don't know why y'all doing this. There's a lot of questionable. I'm like, this is my fave housewife. And I'd be just like, but you have a problem with Candace because, and this is your fave. Mm-hmm. You like Lisa Vanderpump. You like Kyle. You like Lisa Rinna.
Girl,
like
Lisa Ramona, that's the one.
That's the one.
You
right
like
there,
Sonia Morgan?
I'm sorry, people want Brandy to come back.
You like Teresa? You know what? Teresa is a gold star housewife, but baby, that bitch be lying.
She sure yes, she does.
It's like, but she is gold star because she
made a whole career out of it.
Right? She is, and that's the thing. Jersey is not an ensemble cast. It don't work without Teresa.
That's the one city that's not.
Right. It's like, it's not, you are not a good ensemble. If Teresa's not there, this shit is boring as fuck. Even if she's not in every scene.
Nobody is relying on Melissa Gorga.
No. And I like Melissa. I just don't. It's like, Teresa's not my cup of tea, but I'm like, Teresa makes the show. I can't even lie. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I'm like, I get it. So sometimes I'm like, people like, this is my fave. And then like, but Candace, she's this. And I was like, so
she's just as smart as y'all. She's just as smart. She is a word assassin. And to me, I have told my kid, if somebody throws a pebble at you, or if you throw a pebble at somebody and they throw a boulder back, you cannot complain. You start.
Candace is what Kelly Dodd thinks she is. Now check that. That's that on that. It's like, no, Kelly, you're a piece of shit. You've been a piece of shit. Now you're showing yourself to be a racist, xenophobic piece of shit.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like, oh, now you're just showing more of a piece of shit that you already are. Oh, baby, you're just highlighting your piece of shitness.
Yeah, because
it's like, no, bitch, fuck you. Or people are here like, I like Vicky Gumbelson. I'm like, sorry, Victoria Hoomst.
Okay, so now see.
Victoria, I know she is the original, but Victoria Hoomst.
She is Victoria Cancer.
Not the original.
That one.
Say that again, Obi, because I feel like me and Obi might be on it. Say that again, Obi.
She is a original, not the original. She is a original. There were 5 other on that cast.
That's very true.
Vicky didn't create shit.
That's true. That's very true.
Audition like the rest of them.
You let her tell it because she ain't like when Ramona said we made shit hot. And I was like,
now we'll say, Ramona, go sit down somewhere.
Like, Ramona. Bethany has always been the breakout star of y'all say. Again, another city that's not a good ensemble.
And look at what Bethany has said, some of the worst things to them women, but nobody is really coming for her neck like they are coming for Candace. Why? So it's like, y'all are so. Candace is a Black woman. People will say that Bethany is intelligent. That's why she can use those words. Candace is one of the
Candace is not
housewives out of all of them. And I'm not saying that Giselle's not smart. I'm not saying that Wendy's not smart. Yeah. I'm saying that Candace is a wordsmith and will slice you up. And I am announcing at 7:16 p.m. that I join Obi and I am team Candace. I'm getting a t-shirt for the reunion. Okay. I'm gonna be
I don't mind it. I like coming over to Team Candace meetings. Me and Kendrick just be sitting like, girl, we enjoy the drinks, child. The cocktails are flowing.
I had to swipe because if you could have seen this account that I saw last night and tried to break it down on everything that Ashley has did to Monique as far as the miscarriage and intimating that with the drunk driving. Mm-hmm. They said Candace did that to Ashley, and I'm like, I don't understand.
When?
But you know what?
Please put the timestamps in when y'all say this shit.
73 million people taught me that if somebody says it, people will believe it. Simple as that. And Monique operates. Yes, Monique operates on the Trump theory. You tell a lie enough, people will believe it.
And a lot of people didn't like people equating that. And it's like, we're not calling her a racist, xenophobic piece of shit. We're just saying there are people in her camp that are delusional.
Yes.
Because that's the only thing. It's like, picture. Yeah, I mean, she dipped her little toe into anti-vax land, and it's like, girl, come on back. Come on back.
She reposted a young Black girl talking about don't go. This was earlier this year, or at the end of last year. She reposted a young Black girl saying, "Don't go vote because because the government is trying to control you by telling you to vote."
Yeah.
And then said she's saying some good stuff. Where are we at here?
I think people.
We all know that Chris married Monique for her brain.
And there it is. Okay, so
and now we said it.
And now we
we didn't want to say it, and now we said it. And you won't hear me because we're on too much for Camille Grammer, because y'all know how I feel about that chick.
And let me tell you, I feel like Bravo has receipts that they're not pulling out. Anytime they will pull out a Lisa Vanderpump receipt from the first season of Lisa telling.
I can't wait to see, you know what? And I'm waiting for the reunion because I bet you that's when they're going to pull it out, because apparently Monique brought her binder. She must.
And I don't believe for Monique to say, I slept good. Giselle, and I'm going to go back and watch the chat room. Giselle basically said, I think
it was
somebody commented. Yeah, like I was in the hot seat, but and she's moving on. And that's why Giselle to me will forever trump Monique, because Giselle truly can be a water off a duck's back. I'm not.
She's like, ooh, because what was it? It's season 4. They're like,
I took a shot.
And then producer was like, she's like, oh, I did do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I did do that. Okay, never mind.
Yes, and that's that.
She said they were coming for her for 9 out of the 11 hours. Mm-hmm. And then the 10th hour, she started cussing. She was like, okay, I'm sick of y'all now.
Right.
So she got right in the mud with them.
Right. And it's kind of like you just go, I'm like, I'm all for it's like, I need people with sense.
Me too.
You can be Team Monique if you want to. Fine. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but I need to hear your reason why. Just be like, I'm saying because I don't like Candace is not a good reason.
I mean, because
we're talking about the situation. I'm talking about in this situation. And it's like, if you're like, I'm Team Monique because I can't fucking stand Candace. I'm like, so then you're not doing nuance. And y'all know me. I don't operate that way. There is nuance to this. Because Monique is Monique lucky that she ain't do that shit to Robin. So if you think it's like she antagonized me and I had to react, really, Robin got right up in your fucking face and said, hit me. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. And it was just a fucking umbrella.
Listen,
and it's like, and then followed your ass down the street. I'm like, bro, what we doing? She wanted to fight your ass and you did. He's like, oh no, if I fight you, you're going to try to take my money. And then it's interesting, a few weeks ago, couple months ago, she tried to allude. That's what Candace was trying to do. Sure, I'm like, girl, first of all, if you're going to put this up like, oh, any good lawyer would do a countersuit. Any good lawyer would do a criminal and a civil case. Bitch, fuck you.
Exactly. And not only that, isn't there something in the contract where they actually can't?
You can't do that. That's why Vicky had to withdraw her suit against Kelly Dodd.
And
they could not do the reunion because Vicky, you can't be suing each other and y'all on the same. You can't do that. Yep. So they had to work that shit out and it got thrown out, or she withdrew it. I can't remember.
Anybody who keeps saying talk ish get hit again in the streets, that works. We're talking about a show, which is their job. The same people that say this do not go to their job and start popping people in the face. How many of y'all same Negroes that saying that on this Instagram have a boss that then got sideways with you? Have
you put your hands on them?
Thank you.
And
No, what you said is, y'all, you lucky I need my job. Well, that's what Monique should say.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Because can I just say this? And this is, I was always team both sides, but lean towards more Candace. But when Mandy said it on her show, it didn't prick me then. It pricked me 2 weeks ago because she said, I have a problem with women getting abused. And at the time I was just like, oh, I'm not thinking that way. And it was like, but then I realized something. Women, domestic violence is not a hetero thing. So if Candace and Monique were in an intimate relationship and Monique beat her ass, that wouldn't be okay. It's like, you can't be like, well, talk ish and you get hit. It's like, okay, so that is dangerous for you to tell young Black women that if you are mouthy, quote unquote, or aggressive, then somebody has the right to put their fucking hands on you.
Yes.
Because people are like, oh, I'm like, y'all don't like me saying if Monique was a dude and punched her the way that Monique punched Candace, y'all be saying he dead ass wrong. He should have had more self-control and you should have walked the fuck away. Nobody's telling that to Monique because they don't fucking like Candace.
And let's
talk y'all for that.
Counterparts are
fuck y'all for that.
Exactly. Didn't I bring that up? And Mandy would not say. I kept saying, so you're saying if they were in a relationship, you would say, because she kept focusing on the jail thing. So I took Stephanie's. You would tell a woman that if she was hit by a man and they were in a relationship, not to press charge, she would never answer.
Yeah, because
she would never answer.
It's not okay for women to fight. She doesn't like seeing women fight. So it was
but just because you don't like it, that doesn't mean it's abuse. I have been in a fight before where it was not abuse, it was a straight up.
It's like a straight up fight.
And let's take it a step further. Let's take out the whole intimate relationship. I'm friends with Kendrick and Obi. Is it all right for them to just punch me in my face because I was talking crazy?
Or for them to punch each other. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all are friends. Why are y'all fighting?
Right.
I don't know. I'm sorry, low key. I feel like this would be a scrappy ass fight because we got Cali over here in Memphis, and then be like, "What the fuck is going on?" You be like, "I want to break them up, but it's a scrappy ass fight." I mean, I don't
look. Obi would get me. You know, I be drunk most of the time, so he ain't got to push me one good time.
Kendrick would start making.
Wait, hold on. Kendrick be drunk and Obi just push him over like, "Shut up, nigga." He's like, "Oh shit, how'd I get on the ground? I don't know what happened."
Kendrick would fall and Kendrick would say, "My God," and everybody would just crack up and it would be over.
It's like I'm sitting like, why is it okay for Monique to put her so? And that's why I said it's nuanced for me because I have never been that person who had an issue with the Love and Hip Hops, the basketball wives.
Me neither.
Or them fighting because a lot of the women who were like, "How dare you say that about Monique, Wendy?" When hello. Some of y'all who are actually saying that to Wendy, that is the reason why y'all don't watch those fucking shows. Why are y'all acting like Wendy came out of her ass? She did not.
Hello.
Like, y'all don't watch those. So that's why you're like, oh no, I watch Atlanta because those other niggers on those other channels fight. So why are you acting like Wendy made something up? She didn't. Who the fuck do y'all think y'all? I'm like, y'all really forget what y'all say. You don't watch basketball watch. You don't like watching Tammy Roman fight. That's why you don't like her on the show. I like her on YouTube and I like her when she on an Instagram story, but no, I don't like when she fight. No, I don't like
when she took Keisha's pocketbook and wouldn't give it back.
Correct. So it's like it can't be both. It's an Uchiwali one like. Either it's like you don't like seeing Black women fight, or you just don't like seeing these rich Black women fight.
To me,
you think they should be above it.
Run your mouth. You got to take it out of the context of being in the real world. Because in the real world, people that weren't friends wouldn't be going on vacation together. So you got to keep it in the context of the house.
They're not really cool. And also it was like, what are y'all doing? I'm like, I'm sorry. I have millions of dollars. I have a net worth. There's no way in fucking hell you're going to put your hands on me and think that my lawyer won't be seeing you. The bad part about this, she saved your ass because she didn't do it directly after it happened. It took her at least 3 weeks.
Because what did Karen say? I would have laid on the ground until she was on this podcast, and she said,
I would have laid there.
Laid on the ground, my wig to the side until they came.
Correct. I would have pressed charges. That is your buddy, Kern.
I don't know if I believe you, Karen, because you be lying. I know you were like David, and how David used to wrestle the animals in the Bible. You worked on a farm, so I know you've wrestled a pig to the ground.
It's like she looked like she came back because she looked like she was like 2 seconds off Ashley's ass.
Don't drop the soap.
What she said, she's like, don't drop the soap. I'm like, yeah. So if Ashley had put her hands in Karen, because according to y'all, Candace had her fingers in Monique's face. Monique had her fingers in y'all face, but y'all don't care about that. You only saw it from the direction of you saw the screen grabs. I don't even know the word, but it's like all you saw was Candace's finger going.
Yeah.
But not realizing Monique's fingers was going. Monique was not standing there with her hands down and not saying anything. How do you think she got to flip her hair multiple times? This is how I know Candace ain't no scrappy bitch. Because guess what would have happened if you had put your hands on Stephanie? Stephanie would have walked her ass around that table like, bitch, you got one more time.
Right.
And I mean one.
Right.
I'm curious about that because then it would have been 2 high yellow motherfuckers fighting. And then I want to know what y'all think about that because y'all don't have a problem when the dark-skinned women getting
on
TV.
Yes.
Y'all got a problem when it's a high yellow woman. Look, let me come up with a better word. When it's a light-skinned woman.
It's like, let's not do that. Like, oh my God, poor Ashley. You were so mean to Ashley. Why are you acting like Ashley was taking it?
And I'm going to go.
Like she wasn't Satan on earth for 4 seasons.
Thank you. Why are you acting like she wasn't a piece of shit? Y'all, like she was an asshole before, and now she's an asshole with a baby and a baby on the way. Stop playing with me.
And not only that, not only does she discard women, she discards men because her husband is a sexual assaulter. A man quit his job.
Because a lot of people are bringing that up. They were like, if Mickey Darby was putting his mitts on women, y'all wouldn't be so easy to discard this.
Julie Chen used to sign off of Big Brother. I'm Julie Chen. When her husband got accused of all that, she signed off. I'm Julie Chen.
Moonves. I'm like, bitch, fuck you. Cancel this shit. I don't need Big Brother. I do want Amanda to go on Big Brother. Don't get me wrong, but Julie can go.
But they were in an uproar. Why are they not in an uproar for Ashley Darby?
Right. It was like, first of all, what you doing?
And the way he said the way she wielded that knife. I heard somebody say Candace pulled a knife on Ashley. Where are y'all from?
I was like pulled and I'm like, so, and the thing about it is I can have a civilized conversation with my friends about this because there are people who feel that way. They feel like trying to start a rumor about a child paternity is disgusting. And it is. I agree. Yes. So I can have civilized conversations with my friends because I know, one, I'm not being at what like snappy as fuck on Twitter with them. And I also know that Candace is not being snappy on Twitter with me. I know her well enough. If I was a stranger, Candace would be like, bitch, who the fuck you think you talking to? But because I'm her friend, we can have this conversation. Right. Now shout out to Candace from Ratchet Ramblings. So it's kind of like we can have that conversation because one, we're friends. And also I'm like, I'm not going to be nasty to Candace either. I'm like, girl, what the fuck you talking about? It's more like, so I think that's an exaggeration because honestly it is. It's like, oh, well, she was waving. I'm like, well, she was waving it around, but it's like pulling a knife on somebody. It's like, one, it's a butter knife. Two, it's on the fucking table. Three, I told that bitch to get the fuck out of my house.
And she came back.
And that twice. And I'm sitting here like, wait a minute. I love how y'all keep bringing this. I'm like, she wielded a knife after she told that bitch to get out of her house. Also, she came back. If you were why are you trying to frame it like you feared for your life and she was a little bit too aggressive? So why'd you come back in the home? Did you put that in your statement, Ashley?
And
I'm pretty sure you didn't.
Not only that, people will try to go back seasons on Candace, but when it comes to
you don't go back to Monique.
You want to bring up Twitter.
They forget all about Kendall.
Exactly. Yeah. You want to bring and the umbrella. You want to bring up Twitter for Candace, but you don't want to bring up Twitter. Monique asked and you shall receive and all the different
and things. She was like, yep, I said it. It was like, wait a minute. So you think that's okay? It's like it can't be both things. Either it's like, baby, either you were defending yourself
be about it, and just
it's like stand up in your mess, bitch. It's like stand up in your messiness, bitch. It's like you are playing with something. And the bad part about it is, and this also is going to tie in with Kyle from the Black Socialites. Now, initially, when this season started, Homeboy went live every week. And would talk about the episode, him and other people. It's interesting to listen to Kyle because people, it's like they were team Monique. Mm-hmm. Now, that, and for me, again, I'm like, that is fine. If you want to be on your team, but I can't deal with if you're not going to allow your team to be human, because you're not talking about pens. You're talking about people and humans are flawed. And if you honestly think that Monique has no part in this, but you're like, Candace needs to own her part. She didn't start that physical fight. So
that's what I said. To me, she don't own anything.
I'm like, they were arguing. And Monique took it to another level. And it's like, baby, you can't ignore that. I'm like, when has Candace ever not said, my mouth is like, my tongue is sharp?
Yeah, she said
that. She has said it repeatedly. And if you're watching this whole season, every time she got into it with Monique, she's like, okay, I have to go. Okay, I am sorry.
Right.
She gave more apologies to Monique than anybody else this season. And it was like one of those apologies she shouldn't have had to give, especially when Ashley told you why she did it. It's like you should have been like,
and Ashley was okay with it.
Right. It was just like, what are you doing? So when I watched Kyle's live, it was vicious because he felt like Chris Bassett came too hard on him. And I'm like, I'm of two minds because that's her fucking husband. Any husband is not going to allow some man, some random ass person to talk about your life, and y'all are kidding me. Because if your husband did that, you'd be like, oh, okay. I'm like, well,
I would want Corey to blow their heads off. Point
blank. It's like, what you mean? So then,
and most of these guys know signing up for this show.
Yes.
We learned from Peter Thomas.
Mm-hmm. Learn from Peter Thomas used to get in people's face. He used to go back and forth.
Hello,
it's
Apollo.
Like for Apollo. Y'all forget. Chris Bassett is not a unicorn when it comes to bloggers and internet people and Twitter. So why y'all make it seem like he's the worst? I'm like,
and you can't tell me that my husband can't get in women's business. It's one thing if my husband was never seen, but then all of a sudden he's going back and forth, or he's showing up at a party.
He's like, stop. He's like, please stop lying. He kept saying that you were lying, and you're like, I'm not lying. I'm like, I know what happened. Yes, you are lying. Remember, stop lying.
Kyle, he told the whole story to somebody in the DMs, and it was exactly I gotta figure out what website it was.
You're talking about Chris or Kyle?
Chris told the whole story in the DM and said,
and it was the same thing that Kyle said.
And it was I've read it. The blogger posted it. He was like, Candace says, I love you guys. Monique says this. Chris told it, and then he said, I really wish I could give you the footage, but I don't want to get in trouble. Chris told this, but they didn't blast that.
I don't remember what you're talking about.
Chris told it piece by piece when it happened.
Mm-hmm. Because the thing about it is, like, everybody's like, she talked too much. I'm like, so here's the thing about Monique. She had been saying slick shit to her the entire season, and Candace didn't respond. So I will say, for some reason in September, Kyle himself said that I am going to stop. He gave a date and said, I am going to stop talking about Potomac. And it read weird to me because I'm like, that's interesting, because a lot of your traffic to your site happened on Sundays when Potomac was airing. And I was like, why would he say that he would stop doing that? It just read weird to me. And then when I think her name is Ashley Silva. It begins with an A. I think it is Ashley Silva.
That sounds right.
I think her name is Ashley Silva. So she came at the end, like around the 20th of September, and she asked, why don't you like Candace? And he didn't have a reason.
Wow.
It's like he didn't have a definite reason. That she brought up Chris, and it's like, but you were attacking his wife. So it's kind of like, you understand. And she was trying to be neutral. Like, I mean, I know both of these women. I enjoy both of these women. I think she's more closer to Monique than she is Candace, because she knows who Candace is, but I think she's hung out with Monique to a certain extent. So then, and this is from All True Tea. I don't
It's
know
Ashley.
when it's Ashley. Okay, thank you. See, fact check. This is what we do.
What we do.
Because I
This is
knew
what we
you
did.
were going. You were
Because I
going
was
to
like,
check.
Ashley?
You're not like some people that are like, I don't know. I knew you.
I
were
don't
gonna
know.
check.
It was like I think I said another name earlier in this
But then
recording,
you
but
said
I was
Ashley.
like,
You came
I
back to
think
Ashley.
it's like, yeah, I'm like, it's a simple name. So somebody, like, you know how people do in their stories the Q&A, and I think somebody got the screenshots of him. Actually, I'm gonna pull up exactly what it is because it's on their page, and I was like, because I thought it was weird that all of a sudden he stopped. He was like, I'm gonna stop doing lives, and I'm like, that's interesting. Why would you just stop doing that?
Sidebar in 23 minutes, it'll be 5 hours. Just letting you know.
Don't be doing that. Don't be just putting us on blast. You're just putting us on blast. Okay, so he had the IG story with Q&A.
Okay.
And somebody asked, he said, ask me anything. What lies were told on Candace? Don't leave us hanging, Kyle. Because apparently he must have said something. I don't know. Because here's the other thing about Kyle's live. When people are thinking that Candace just attacked him and it's like nothing happened. Exactly. And it's like, that's the thing. Kyle didn't save any of his lives. So no one really knows what. Because he said it when he was talking to Ashley. He's like, I can go to the gutter too. So when people were trying to make it seem like
Candace came out of nowhere,
like they were uneven, I'm like, Kyle can throw shade like everybody else. It's like it was a little bit more matched than people realize. I'm like, oh, he ain't hold back, and neither did Marcella. Which I'm like, if that's your team, if that's what you want to do, I think that it's fine. But baby, walk in your mess. Right. It's like walk in your mess if that's what you want to do. But realize it, like, yeah, I said it at the time, and that's what I said. Don't be like, oh no, I ain't say it. I'm like, no, you can say that you said it at the time. Be like, I had growth, I have evolved. Do whatever you need to do, but baby, don't piss on me and tell me that it's rain. Okay,
it's raining, right?
So, what lies were told on Candace? Don't leave us hanging, Kyle. The major one was how the fight actually started, and there were a few more regarding situations in the DMV. And I can't see what the question was. It had Monique's name, and I don't know what it says, but I think maybe it's asking, like, maybe alluding that he may have like changed teams or had a change of heart. Wow. My change of heart had nothing to do with Mo personally. I am #Team Monique all day. However, as you all will find out soon, Candace has been lied on, and I was used as a pawn in someone's malicious intent to destroy her character. For that, I will apologize.
Oh. I'm sorry. Where's that? Because I'm posting that tonight.
So that is on. Oh my God. This all true.
I'd have at some point.
Right. All True Tea posted this 2 days ago. So this is All True Tea. Because when I said, I'm like, because then that makes sense for him to change. Like, I'm gonna stop talking about Potomac.
Right.
It's like, so I don't know when this Q&A was, because I wasn't like, I didn't unfollow him. It was just like I had to take a step back because
it's a lot.
Because I think when he did a live, I hopped on one of his lives early on in the season. And I said, for me, this is reminding me of Shahs of Sunset, because there was a lot of shit happened in the background. Everybody's like, you got to watch the season to see what happened. And I'm sitting here like, okay, so Reza, that's not what you think this is going to happen, because you don't look squeaky clean in this.
Right.
Because MJ really is your friend, because I'd have broke your face. Quite frankly, I'd have walked right up them steps and like, I'm sorry, what the fuck did you just say? And Tommy better than me, because Tommy busted your plants up and left. I'd have waited for your ass. A couple
windows. Right.
I would have been like, oh, let me know when you coming home, because I would love to talk to you. Let me know when you want to come home. Tommy, that's the thing. It's like he had more restraint than you want to give him. You definitely, because I would have waited, because there's no way in hell you want to announce to a party, and then also it's being recorded, so now it's on national television, that my wife's uterus exploded because of 10 abortions.
Jesus, yeah. I don't know what could get me that mad to say that to my friend. I could have.
And it was just like, that is 30 years. You've been hurt. That is your longest relationship is MJ. Your longest relationship is Reza.
I mean, come on.
It was like, that is 30 years. That is a relationship. I'm like, that. I can't, like, I've had a falling out with friends, or I've had like hiccups in my friendship. and I could sit down. I'm like, I would never, and I could say this, and everybody say never say never. And like, no, I could say I would never do that to my best friend, ever. And she's been my best friend since I was 15. There's no possible way I would ever do that to her. So I'm like, Reza, I'd have beat your ass. And I would have been fine not being your fucking friend anymore. But I digress on that. So that's what I said to Kyle, because I was sitting here like, this is reminding me of Shahs of Sunset. So, I mean, he was never nasty to me. And it's kind of like, he seemed very much like I'm Team Monique. And that's where he sat. But I noticed that he backed off. And it was very interesting because I'm like, why would he do that? But for him to say, they lied on Candace because one, it is a lie of how this fight actually started because all the stories was like she threw a drink on Monique and that's how it started. But then when you listen to what she said to them in Karen's living room, that is what she told them. And they were sitting here like, that's not how that happened. And she's like, what you mean? She's like, I was there. Hey, baby, we were there too. Right, like, we saw what happened. So it was like, you can do that with Ashley because Ashley, she owed you a favor. So she gonna listen to whatever the fuck that you say.
Ashley said, I worked very hard. And she said, I worked very hard to get my friendship back with Monique. Remember? Yeah, you worked hard. She said that in a confessional, 2 weeks ago when Candace said she wanted to have a baby and Ashley still harbored the feelings in her
when Monique deleted that footage. Yeah,
exactly. That's why you worked very hard so she could get rid of that footage.
Right. It was just like, what? Why are you doing this? And it was like, so to watch, so like IG pages and blog pages try to do this whole, this is the person that Candace Wichstead, you are giving her way too much power.
Exactly.
Considering this happened in what, August? It is now, he passed away early this month, November. There's no possible way, if I have the power to kill somebody, they would last months. He'd have been smoked right there.
Somebody told me, oh, did you know he died? If you don't know, he's the one that Candace wished death on. And I'm like,
it was like, she has not
be associated
and it's so funny. I love talking about Mother about this because she's very much, because one, she is also, it's a Black woman thing. We don't like fingers in the face.
No,
like, that means you ready to fight. So that's why I said for me, it was team both sides, because I understand that. It's like, girl, you gonna get your finger on my face. You got one more time to put your finger on my face and then I'm going to break it. So I get that part. That's why I was like, Monique, you're a person. You are a human. You are going to fuck up. This is your fuck up. Stop acting like you shouldn't face any consequences because people don't like Candace.
Yep.
Like, ma'am, you put your hands on another adult. I am no law book, but in the law book, that is assault. Depending on the state, it's a misdemeanor or a felony. I don't make the rules. Period. I am not an old white man making laws. So I am just telling you how the law works. You can't act like, well, she provoked me. Yes, please go tell a judge that she provoked me, so I put my hands on her. So why didn't you have more self-control and keep your hands to yourself?
We're taught that in school. It's on your report card, has self-control.
You need... and I don't know, and everybody's like, well, Portia is fine. You do realize Portia was demoted. One, this happened at the reunion. They hadn't started filming the next season. Homegirl got demoted because she brought so much as a friend of, and she's been on the show before as a housewife. She's not Marlo.
Right.
Because Marlo brings it every fucking season. And she's like, no, I don't want that. I don't want you bitches in my business.
Yep.
I respect you, a queen, a legend. Okay, I'm fine with that. Because Portia was like, oh, okay, well, I've been a housewife before. Thank you. Give me my full season check.
Right.
I'm tired of getting my casual hours check. Give me my full salary check. Okay. She was fine with it. So I really want y'all to stop acting like there was no consequences for Portia. One, she got charges pressed. She turned herself in.
Yep.
She has a whole fucking mugshot. I don't know what the hell happened to the case. Either it was dropped or it was settled. Because one, it's like if you Google it, I'm having hard trouble. I'm like, so what happened to the case? Did it just get settled?
Did it go away?
Did it go away? It was just like, what happened? Because one, she could have just settled it. It's a first time offense for her. She's in Georgia. I think this really in Georgia, as opposed to it's still a misdemeanor here. It's just for some reason in Maryland, it's high jail time. It's like years.
5 years.
I was like, what the heck? For a misdemeanor?
That made me rethink some things. I don't know. Like, I can't just say I just temper.
Wait, hold on. Right. I can't. Somebody might like put me in jail because the thing that it was just like, whew. So I was like, it's a misdemeanor, but also it's the first time offense. She should be fine. So I don't know why people are on this impression like it should be hood rules. I'm like, so hood rules does not mean if you live in the hood and your friend is in the country club, you get to put your hands on your friends from the country club. That's not how the fuck this works. And also Candace is not from the hood. And that is not a knock on Candace because one, if you would have read the cue of her flipping your hair. That would have been cause for you to punch her right in her goddamn face.
Or I said, if she had to still let her, by some crazy thing, flip her hair, when Monique grabbed her, Candace would have took her body back, even though it might have hurt, with her hand and used her whole body to press that table, flip it over, and she would have ended up on top of Monique and just went to in her face.
Exactly. It's like it's very interesting for people to tell people what did you say?
I said, y'all hear that?
But I'm sitting here like it's a lot of people going, no, Candace is wrong because you don't press charges on nobody. I'm like, do you know how many people on those Love and Hip Hop shows get pressed charges? Tommy has a laundry list of fucking charges because people press charges. That is what adults do.
Tommy went to the school and smashed her daughter's head in a locker because she didn't like what she said.
And she went to fucking jail. I'm sorry. Yes. Arrested. I'm sorry. She was Luann. She got arrested. Yeah. I don't know if she went to jail. I don't think she
all this talk is
more mugshots than Marlo, I think.
Wow.
Marlo has a mugshot. Wow. Nene has a mugshot.
Marlo has a
mugshot. And also Portia went to fucking I think you know what? I think her anger management wasn't it court ordered anger management for Portia?
Supposedly, yeah, because then.
So I think that's what happened. They settled it. She had to. She probably had community service. She probably had a fine, and she had to go to anger management. Listen, why are you thinking, Mrs. Samuels, that you could just like meet with your pastor once?
Because she could pay somebody. When somebody asked Kyle, I wonder if that's the same about Monique. Are you paid too? And he never said no. He said, "My compensation is none of your concern," or something like that.
Yeah. That's the thing. A lot. So when people say, and not for him to back off, it's just like that's I don't think he is a bad person. I don't think he was a bad person at all. I think whatever happened between him and Sharice, I think she probably did fuck him over. I don't know. It's not my thing to I don't know because you didn't really hear Sharice say anything.
Nope.
She's like, do whatever you need to do. I'm like, Sharice is in this live because you fucking talking about her. It's kind of like you can't talk shit about somebody and think they shouldn't be there to hear what you got to say or dispel it.
If that whole talk ish get hit, then Candace should have fought Kyle instead of saying
that means talk shit get hit. That means Chris Bassett should have beat his ass. That is what y'all are saying, but you're not saying that. You're saying that Chris Bassett was wrong. So it's talk ish and get hit. If you my fave. And I think people need to be more honest. I get it. We all extend more sympathy and empathy to people that we like.
Yep.
And I get it because make no mistakes. Donald Trump dies, you will not see me shed a tear.
I was getting ready to say, why hasn't he been beat up yet?
And the thing about it is like no one would expect you to either. They're like, why would I do that? So when you see people like certain people die, like
suddenly they become martyrs.
All of a sudden, it's like when Nipsey and this has nothing to do with Bravo, but when Nipsey Hussle died, and there were women who were saying, "I got nothing to say," or there were queer Black men who got nothing to say. All of a sudden, like, why are you speaking ill of the dead? I'm like, I'm just saying, I'm not saying anything because I found him offensive. When XXXTentacion died, there were a lot of people like, "Oh, I'm not mourning him." And like, why are you speaking ill of the dead? I'm like, wait a minute, he was a piece of shit. Before he died, you want me to act like he wasn't? That doesn't seem to
die every day.
Pretty much.
I
And it's
was
like,
gonna
I could
say-
just say nothing. When
But
what's his, like, what's her name?
speak
Barbara
well
Bush?
of my would I speak well of my slave master when he passed away? I'm
Correct.
just
It's
saying,
I'm like, I'm just not gonna say anything about Barbara Bush. John McCain died. I'm like, I'm just not going to say anything. I don't think he was a bad person, but I'm not mourning him, and it should be okay.
simple as that.
And it's just like, I don't know why we're like we extend it to everybody. I'm like, you're only saying that because I'm not mourning your fave.
Yes.
That is what's going on here. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to mourn your fave to make you feel better. I'm not going to say like, because you like Monique. I don't dislike Monique, but I don't like manipulators and liars. And I don't like you manipulating a situation to make somebody else look bad because you fucked up and put your hands on another adult. If she had beat a child, you would want her fucking arrested. So why are you making it seem like if some 12-year-old mouthed off to her and she punched her in the face, you'd be like, oh my God, Monique, what is wrong with you? Why would you beat her up? Because it wasn't just what happened at the table. They separated. You were trying to run out and go get her. This is when you know shit just got real. Monique has a problem and y'all don't want to say that because you don't like Candace. And I don't also like, I have a really, I am somebody.
Stuff. It's all the past. That's what gets me.
Also,
if she had a fault with her this season, it would be one thing.
But it's other things. So this is the other thing, and it's the part that gets me in my neck. I'm somebody who deals with depression, and it comes in waves. And sometimes shit hits me different. So the thing about it is we are trying to be more in the Black community, more like, y'all, we need to talk about our issues. It is okay to say that you need space. It is okay to say you have PTSD, because really being a darker skinned Black woman in America can just be some fucked up shit. And sometimes I'm like, I just want it to end. Not my life. I just want the shit to end. And so to watch so many Black people, especially Black women, belittle Candace's trauma
that gets
or
me.
pain is like so disheartening, because I'm like,
why
are you
for going to her past?
Right. And I'm like, wait a minute, how are you going to sit here and say she shouldn't feel some sort of way, as if people weren't being nasty to her all over social media? If people literally looked at her and said, girl, it ain't that big of a deal, you got your hair pulled, that is not a big deal. I'm sorry, have any of y'all got your wig shifted, look like a fucking transport,
and then got punched in your
punched in the head? And then on top of that, everybody is telling you that you deserve it.
That you deserved it.
This is like from October up until what? September is when we saw the fight. So almost a goddamn year, everybody is saying, how dare you? Oh no, how dare you do this to Monique? We are going to fuck you up, and how dare you? And then when they see it, they're like, girl, oh, that's it? Really? That's it? That's all you got to say?
Laughing at her. That she lost opportunities. No, nobody wants to hear you sing. But let's take it a step further. When they were at Monique's lake house, and they asked the question and said, everybody tell something about yourself. She grew up in an all-white school. I know what that's like. So what she had to deal with in that all-white school, being a darker,
and she wasn't a lighter skinned Black woman.
Thank you.
Right.
So it's like
that is different. It's going to hit a lot different.
And even though her mom's a psychologist, even if she didn't, let's say, because sometimes we have seen that she has verbally assaulted Candace, I feel like, but her mom seems of the mindset like, you tell me your problem, but you're not allowed to feel what is upsetting you. Okay, move on. Like she seems like, and a lot of Black moms are like that. They're like, we don't have time to. My grandma, when Mariah Carey was on TLC TV Live. What Carson Daly? And she
TRL. And it was like, something is wrong with me. I was like, what? Like Tia Live. What we doing?
In the t-shirt.
In the t-shirt. And
it was like, everybody was like, what the hell is wrong with Mariah?
Exactly. and she went in the hospital for exhaustion. My grandma said, this exhaustion is, don't nobody got time to be like exhausted. We are not allowed to express anything.
We're not allowed to be a victim, but it's like you're not allowing Candace to be a victim, but Monique is a victim. And I also want to add the caveat of Dorothy is her mama. And I rewatched season 4 of how Candace's mother talks to her. let me tell y'all something. I know a few black women. See, here's the thing. If your mom, if you grow up and it's like you respect your mother, you don't talk back to her.
Yes,
So if she
yes.
gets to talk to you any kind of way, I am not going to let the next bitch talk
Yes,
to you.
yes.
Fucking crazy. That
Yes.
is part of the reason. It's the white school. It's her mom. It's her
Yep.
upbringing. It really is. Because it's like she can't talk back to Dorothy, but she can talk back to you. I'm like, I'm sorry,
Exactly.
you're not Dorothy. I don't have to hold my tongue for
And
you.
Monique gets to sit up in a confessional and say, my mom taught me when you feel threatened. You did not feel threatened with Candace, but when
You
feel
were the
threatened,
threat.
You were the
Exactly.
threat.
Right.
You were the threat. You step on the foot, grab the hair. But Candace can't say, my mom taught me to fight with my words.
Right. It's like both of your mamas didn't teach. I'm like, we're not going to say you Jersey style fighting is wrong because I'm not going to say that. Because I'm like,
No.
sometimes words don't work. So I'm like,
I get that. Exactly.
I'm
I
here
get
for
that.
that. It's like, I'm
that
not
did
going
not
to do
call
this
for
with
that.
y'all. It didn't
And-
call for words because I'm like, what did Candace say to you directly?
Yep.
I mean, like, I got to put my hands on her now.
And
It's like, what did she say? Because you can't find anything. I'm like,
No.
there's no way in hell that Ashley still has her jaw intact by alluding to you losing your child because of your drunk driving. There's no
Exactly.
fucking way
Right.
that she still got all of her teeth saying
No way.
that to you.
She was, Robin and Juan had whatever relationship they had going on. Who knows what was going?
Mhm.
We already know that they were divorced. So I hate when people say, and Robin so down he was cheating on her. They weren't together. But
They
anyway,
weren't together.
Right.
Ashley, Corey would not want a woman talking about him when we got whatever we got going on in our house. We know what's going on. He's not even filming with me, but somebody's always up in my face talking, bringing his name up, bringing his name up, bringing his name up, bringing his business up, bringing his name up. Like, he would be like, you need to check, like, and all Robin said was, what have I done to you? And after Robin talked about how she lost everything, not because somebody committed, her friend, number one, she
They
had
were
to
like,
deal
see, you just bad with money. I'm like,
yes,
your friend has your trust. You are going to trust them, but
because you want to help their business.
people are snakes.
Yes,
Right.
Like people
The
aren't
fact that
snakes.
Robin had to mourn him twice. Even if somebody's your friend that you trust them enough to handle your money, even if they stole it, then they committed suicide. They're still a part of you.
And the bad
that
part about it is
love
you
that
feel
person.
like you can't do anything. It's like, I
you.
can't be mad at you because you killed yourself. It's like, or you're just not here. It's like, where do
Because
I
you
put those
can't speak.
emotions?
You can't speak
Right.
ill of
Ill of
the
the
dead.
dead. And
So-
it's just like, wait a minute. So what
And
am I supposed
Ashley
to do with
still
all of
went
these?
in. She still went in.
Didn't
at the-
care. She was like,
Regardless.
girl, if you doing this Google, then you should have Googled what exactly happened. You didn't.
Now she's Mother Teresa.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, y'all really are doing this
okay.
like this whole rebrand of Ashley. I'm like, what are you doing? Because
Kenya had a baby and called Tanya a cunt and brought the cookie lady. It changes nothing.
because this is why I say, like, sometimes
Right.
words don't work because Tanya better than me because I'd have
Yeah.
beat Kenya's ass. Period.
Tanya
You did
done
this
ran on
about
the
a
Canada.
wig when you literally sat on that show for years saying, oh, y'all just jealous because my hair is real.
Right.
Like, girl, I know you wearing fake hair. And the bad part about it is there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
You have
And my
nice
whole thing
hair.
My big thing is, I'm not sure where they're going with this. Like, y'all are sitting there
Right.
trying to make us think that Ashley is now Mother Teresa.
Right.
Mhm.
Like, we know her husband. So, like, are we supposed to think that she's
Exactly.
the
That
victim
part.
in her marriage now, or are we supposed to think she's the
Right.
victim in life, or
No.
is
Somebody
Michael
said-
Darby like what are we supposed to be thinking?
Somebody said on Twitter, I feel so sorry for her. I don't. She knows.
I
what
don't.
I don't feel sorry for her.
That's right up there where people say, I feel sorry for Melania Trump. I'm like, oh, did you forget? Did she carry that birther water too? I surely
Hello?
didn't.
And could barely talk about it in English.
I'm like,
Get out of here.
ma'am, shut up. This is your fourth language. Leave us alone.
But let's talk about,
Oh,
even
fuck
to
outta
talk
here.
about dark-skinned women. Notice Kenya never said that she looked like anybody other than Beyonce, who is not a darker-skinned woman.
It's like, ma'am, there is nowhere anybody confused you with that
Ever.
Creole queen ever.
Ever.
It's like now you just calling black people in Atlanta stupid because
Right.
you can play this with, like, you must have been around some white people, but also
That's what it
Right.
was.
what are you were you with visibly challenged white people that don't know what the fuck Beyonce
The
looks
hair
like?
color was
Girl,
like you said, she had
You're
highlights.
just pretty. You could have just said, I'm like, I get recognized because I'm fucking Miss USA.
Pretty much. That's it.
It's like, girl, I know you are, because I'm like, wasn't she on Martin?
Yes, she was.
Like,
Yep.
that's what I remember from. She was on
Yeah,
exactly. She was on Living Single too.
Mm-hmm.
I was
She
like,
was on
baby,
the Parkers when they had
right.
the Magic Johnson Theater. Yep.
Right. I'm like, the Parkers, the show where I was like, I know y'all not trying to say this nigga is fine, because what?
Mr.
Professor Ogilvy.
Ogilvy. I'm like, I know
Ogilvy.
y'all fucking lying to me. He's not a ugly man, but it's like, girl,
And then they
that is
ended it
not
with her and
Sterling
him,
K. Brown.
with her and him getting married, and she marching around. I don't even know what I mean. And then it was
the
all,
show is absolutely funny, but I was sitting
Yeah.
here like, I feel attacked. I am yelling.
That's the
What
definition
the
of
entire
playing with my
fuck is that?
intelligence.
Y'all playing with it, like y'all fucking lying to me.
exactly.
I don't know. And like, we're not even at the end of the season. I am loving the blogs, you know what, the YouTube pages, because I shout out to Brooke Ashley, because
Yes.
I love shouting her out, because
Yes.
she is somebody who's like, I was Team Monique, and she kept looking like, what am I, what do you,
Right.
what is going on? She
I
was like,
listened.
do you think that we're stupid? And the bad part, she was like, that talk-ish get hit thing is so, because it's problematic and people don't realize it.
And
They
people
don't
don't
realize how problematic you're saying. No, if somebody don't like what you're saying, they have the right to put their hands on you. And I'm like, so yeah, no, we're not doing that. You
Nope.
can dead that. No, the fuck you won't. I'm like, first of all, we are grown-ups. We are not high schoolers.
Hello.
I'm like, I'm not saying that sometimes the situation doesn't call for hands.
And
This
that's a
situation is not
yeah.
one of those. Any situation that on Potomac at all probably would have been between Robin and Monique.
And Monique, yes.
But the reason why you ain't put your hands on Robin is because Robin will beat your ass.
Yep.
Period.
And
It's
wasn't
like,
scared of you.
I'm like,
she thought Robin
she
gonna
wasn't
say
scared of you. It was like, Robin was like, well, do it then, bitch. Hit me.
Right.
But that's also that thing where sometimes darker hued women, because Monique isn't that much of a darker hue than the Green Eye Bandits. Well,
Not,
but she probably tried Robin, because sometimes people will try her lighter skin hue and you get fooled.
Right. It's kind of like, because it's a lot of, because you know, it's kind of like, it's not, there's no, I'm like, I hate to break it to anybody who's like, there's no such thing as reverse colorism. Like, there's no reverse racism. It's only one way, bitch. So we're not going to do that. But there is such thing as a discrimination within our community. I will give you that. That does not mean it's colorism. If somebody in the third grade said, you think you cute, bitch, because you like pulled all of your hair and whipped it in their face and said, you're just jealous of my straight hair. And then she like punched you in the face. And now you're like, oh my God, when I was in the third grade, I was like,
that's not colorism, right?
That is not color. Bitch, fuck you. That is not what's going on here. Shut the entire fuck up. But it's like, I don't even, what are y'all doing? I was like, why are y'all doing this? It's like, this is not necessary. Stop trying to act like you got to humble a Black woman, because how dare she just talk the way that she wants to talk, and she ain't taking no shit off of you. And the one time she did not walk away from your ass,
and you
have a problem.
You felt embarrassed because she said
embarrassed you. I'm like, I'm sorry. It was funny with her twirling.
Monique started yelling when she said you were asleep. She started, if you watch it back, Monique was yelling.
She was.
At that point.
And it was like, and the bad part about it is, Karen, why didn't you separate them?
Thank you.
Because you damn sure separated her and Robin. But you didn't pull her back like, okay, Monique, calm down. Stop. Because she didn't put her hand right. Yep. Robin didn't put her hands on Monique, and neither did she. They just had the umbrella.
Yeah.
But Karen made damn sure to pull Monique away. They didn't have any security. And it was just like, girl, what you playing at? It's like, girl, and Karen, she actually was putting her hand on Candace.
Yes.
You did not stop that.
And for them to say Giselle and Robin wanted that fight to happen, in no world do I
for why
they wanted it.
For
right. What would that have gained them?
They were making any excuse.
Yes.
Like y'all just wanted this happen. She was trying to push her back. If you look at how long that table is, Giselle is at the head, and Candace and Monique were towards the back. She couldn't reach her, so she could only like, girl, calm down. It was like, what are we doing?
Excuse not to get Monique to take
Yes.
responsibility.
And she is at fault,
Even though, like, a
period.
couple episodes later, she said she didn't deserve that. The fans were trying to come up with every excuse to make it seem like no. Everything she did at that dinner was justified.
Nothing
Right.
that Candace said was worthy of getting hands. And y'all won't do that. And the bad part about it is, Monique, you can't tell your pastor and then tell Ashley that she didn't deserve it, but then turn around and keep liking all these tweets that support you, and also make a song called Drag Queens, and then why isn't Candace being forgiving? And it was just like, wait a minute. She did all of this. She's still fucking talking. She's still saying I deserve it. She made a goddamn rap song. She has never apologized to me. Fuck that bitch. She is not remorseful. You can kiss my ass. Why are y'all acting like y'all wouldn't be taking that stance too?
And the fact that people love Robin, Giselle, and Ashley should say something, period. And then Monique.
Yep.
That's all that.
Right.
But,
it was like,
but did not like Sharice. Sharice was honest about hers. Yeah, I did it. Because you said X, Y, and Z. They didn't like Sharice.
I liked when Sharice did that. She's like, I did it to get back at you. She's like, I'm not even going to hold you. That's why I did it.
Right.
But and it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was like, what? It was like she didn't like bullshit around it.
And that, how do you make Karen the grand dame when you know Karen's a liar simply by when she says she moved because of her parents, and then Ray came out and they asked him, and Ray said something totally different.
And that's the thing, is like that the veneer that cracked already with Monique is going to crack with Karen. But some people are like, they too far gone. Kind of like the people who were Team Monique, they're too far gone. Because one,
so can I say,
go ahead.
That's exactly, that was one of my other hot takes that I didn't point out earlier, was that I feel like Karen and Monique in particular are on the same track that Dorinda in New York is on right now.
Oh yeah.
I feel like they have now like gotten so like with the fans in their heads, and they're now playing the character that they know the fans want.
Right.
Yes.
It has no choice but to go off the rails at some point.
At this point. Because it's like literally, if Giselle had did the same
That's a good point,
told somebody they were going to do one thing and turned around and did the other thing, y'all would be coming after her.
Yeah.
Like you said to Karen that Candace wasn't going to be there. And now here she is. I ain't say that. You would call her a liar. The liar that she is.
And suddenly everybody's like, yes, Karen, do it.
That's right. That's right. You show them. I'm like, wait, so are y'all acting like she didn't just lie? Because that's the point.
Well, that's like, what 2020 has shown me is that look at people will root for a liar as long as you like them. Look at RHOP, as long as you dislike who they're going against. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Real Housewives of Potomac.
Because it was like, I was one of those people who didn't necessarily hate Teddy. I just like, she was like window dressing to me. I didn't like her during the reunion because it's like, oh, now shut the hell up.
The most.
Like, it was like, girl, you doing the most. But during the season, I'm like, I don't particularly dislike Teddy. I'm just like, she's not.
I didn't like the gang up mentality on Denise. So it's like,
oh, absolutely not. It's like, first it was like y'all did it with Lisa and she just didn't show up. I'm like, how interesting, Madam Vanderpump, because you literally raked Adrienne Maloof for doing the exact same thing that you're doing. It was like, see, I don't like that. I'm like, don't say Adrienne should have just showed up. I'm like, well, bitch, you should have showed up. And you did not.
Yeah, this whole, I will say, I think we have 2 or 3 more episodes. I think for Potomac.
It might be because at this point people are getting exhausted.
Do like a month in advance.
Yeah, so it's
because we have the witch shift next week, and then maybe Robin's engagement.
I think like maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So and then it's like they haven't said how many parts the reunion's going to be. And I don't
trust Andrew. Oh my God, this is one of the okay.
You said it's about every goddamn reunion. You said it about Beverly Hills, and I was like, girl, I know you fucking lying to me.
Right? What is going on?
So I have seen the wear down of the Brooke Ashley because she was like, I don't understand why y'all are saying this.
Yeah. And
I'm like, I can get it. I can see like even Funky Dineva who he's like, what the fuck y'all dragging this on? I'm like, they're like, y'all ain't even do this with Kenya and Portia. That's because it happened at the reunion.
Right.
So
there was nothing
nothing to drag during the season. And mind you, they didn't even talk about it the next season.
And not only that, they did not say that Kenya deserved to get beat up again when Portia tried to walk away from the table and Kenya followed her across the street. But you know what?
Right. Because even then it was like, I think Kenya didn't. So that's why people are trying to compare it to Kenya and Candace. I'm like, yeah, but here's the thing about that whole situation. Kenya first started with the scepter. Portia grabbed it and threw it. See, that should have been your first mistake.
Yeah.
Like, you should realize, okay, I'm going too far.
Yeah.
Also, she was not sitting right next to Portia.
Yeah.
Cynthia was sitting in the middle of them. Cynthia, Bailey, Hill. Why the fuck didn't you tell Kenya to
like, if girl, if you don't stop?
It's like, stop. Because when that fan was being flung, Candy was like, if you don't fling that thing somewhere else, and notice no other fanning happened, at least close to Candy. Candy was like, oh, you think I won't punch you?
Right.
And Andy laughed after she said it.
And it's like, girl, if you don't stop with that damn fan.
Yep.
It's like, Cynthia, why didn't you say? So this is not the same. Because one, that was consistent and constant. You did that for hours straight. Y'all think like we only seeing like 40 minutes into a reunion. They taped for hours. I'd have beat her ass too. And it's like she didn't even, that's the thing, she didn't even punch her. She just grabbed her hair and dragged her down the stairs. That's it. And it's like that was still enough to pull her hair. But it's like, and I think Kenya felt some sort of way that people weren't just like, but Portia's wrong. She is wrong to put her hands on you, but more people just understood why. People were saying that she wasn't wrong. We understood why she did it. It's like you're part of like you antagonized her.
And you can't do whatever it is you want to do to people.
And keep doing that. So it's like they're like, oh, it's just the same way. I'm like, actually, it's not. Because one, Monique put her hands on her first. So no, it's not the same thing.
Right.
You took it too physical and you didn't have to. Because one, just like Candace should have did something different, so should have Monique.
Yep.
It's like, and you're wrong. And better yet, why did it take about 3 weeks after the fight happened, she pressed charges? Because then it probably sunk in Robin's words of she's not remorseful.
She's not remorseful.
Because it's like, maybe it's just like, maybe she's like, no, maybe she might. And she, right. It was like, maybe she would have reached out to you. She didn't listen to Karen either. I kind of don't believe Karen. I will just put that out there. She's like, I told her to apologize. I'm like you told me that I should press charges. Maybe you did. Because it's kind of like, I want to hear that from Monique's mouth. Did Karen say you should have apologized? You had 3 weeks to apologize, bitch. Why you? It was like, you didn't say anything. And they're like, well, it's legal. I can't. I'm like, so your lawyer works for you. Your lawyer, if you had said, I don't want this to go to court, can we arrange a mediation? Mm-hmm. You decided to sue her back or press charges back. And the bad part about it is you're like, oh my God, you could have put Monique in jail. You do realize her pressing charges against Candace could have put her in jail. And but of course, people don't care because they don't like Candace. Yep. And it's a lie. Exactly. So it's like, I don't even know what to say. Well, y'all, it's like, yeah, I can see her pressing charges. If she did a civil suit, civil court is a lot more lenient about who's at fault. So it's easier to, get a judgment of money because it's the only thing you can get in civil court.
And Candace is trying to like make her pay. It doesn't even money. It's just like, no, you're going to say sorry one way or the other. Like you
literally could have took, if you needed 14 days or 10 business days to apologize, fine, do that. But you should have did it. It would have never made it to court. And one, I believe Candace when she said that, she was like, if she apologized with you, no, I wouldn't have. If she had just apologized to me.
Right.
And notice, I will say this, and this is shout out to Kevin Hart. She said apologize. She didn't say sincere apology, even though she means sincere.
Right.
You could just apologize. That's all she wants you to do. You could have just did a public apology, but you watch what your lawyer said. It was like her concept. I'm like, where you get? Y'all used to be friends, but I mean, I don't trust nobody who has no problem. And I don't know, Gigi. I don't know y'all whole situation.
Right.
But 14 or 20 years, depending on who you talk to, of a friendship, and you ready to throw it away because she's noticed that you are being suspect with somebody who is not your husband. I don't know how true this is. I don't know why your friend didn't talk to you as opposed to your husband. It's like, because I'm sorry, I would never go to my best friend's husband and say she was looking kind of suspect in the street, because I'll be like, okay, that is some snake shit. Why are you not talking to me?
Right.
Yep.
He's not your friend. I am. But look, child, I'm not doing this with y'all. Okay, so it is now dark in California.
And Obi had to go.
On the East Coast, in the South, on the West Coast.
Right. Look, Obi's gonna have to record his outro and send it to you.
Look.
Why is Obi popping up like that? Obi
got a whole plate over there. He's like, look, y'all.
I gotta eat.
Obi is like the whole. Listen, I'm just texting Corey what I wanted for food. Obi is like the Holy Spirit.
I did too. I was like, shoot. I'm like, do I want to Uber eat something the night before Thanksgiving? I'm like,
damn, Popeye sound kind of good right now.
Don't it? I'm like, I want that spicy sandwich.
I had some last night.
Right.
Hey, I might have to go to Royal Farms. Y'all talk about gas station chicken all you want, but sure.
Stephanie, high five.
Thank you. Everybody's like, how you get chicken from the gas station? You walk in the door. What?
Stephanie, can we do? I feel like me and Stephanie need to do a socially distanced meet up and get some chicken. Look, y'all. I'll get a test for you, boo.
I am afraid to convert all of this goodness because Zoom was being such a hater hoe on us.
So if it says recording, that means, we're recording on you. Oh, I always thought that meant that, well, if something messed up, the other person got it too.
I guess we'll find out.
We will find out. So if honestly, y'all, if y'all listening, if it is just Potomac, that is the reason, because I don't know what the fuck Zoom was doing.
Well, I will say
I'm upset.
If it only gets Potomac, we just come back on and do the other ones.
Oh my God. But one, I want to thank you for kicking off Bravo Month.
Mwah.
This has been amazing. Before we get out of here, I want everybody to plug, because now everybody on this show has a podcast.
Our boo showed up just in time.
Yes, I was like, when he said coming soon, I'm like, bitch.
Yes.
Ready. Been waiting. Keeping me on pens and needles. Why?
Can I?
Well, I have to thank three of you for inspiring me and giving me that push.
I'm glad that.
Yes, I was like, it needs to happen. I was like, I need this voice. Let me find that episode. This voice needs to be on a podcast.
Yes. Listen, I feel like we all live by the logic. Some people live in lack. We live in abundance. Why not support? There is enough for everyone. Absolutely. And I know for me, ultimately, my goal is I want to be able to be in a position to where I can say, you looking for influence? Are you looking for a host for this? Oh, my friends have, you know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you, I need to host that Below Deck Man reunion Below Deck period. Cause I'm like, I got so many questions. Y'all need more black people.
Right. All right. So we should just start tweeting that to Andy, and you should start doing like mock Below Deck.
I'm like, see, y'all not asking the right questions.
Right.
It's the real question.
That's the problem.
So let's start with the youngest podcast. Obi, tell everybody where they can find you and your podcast.
I was just waiting. I was like, here I go. Like
Obi,
I'm so mad at you right now.
All right. Well, I am Obi Ali King, host of the Odd Black Individual podcast. You can find me. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. You can find me at Odd Black Individual on Instagram.
Listen, Obi was so wonderful, y'all. Y'all know y'all love his takes to do this podcast, that he needs to drop his Cash App, and y'all support him because he pulled off to do this podcast with us.
Yep.
And then Cash App me.
It was my thank you.
Now don't be on there like, Obi. No, I'm saying it. You matter of fact, y'all need to Cash App all of us for this goodness. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Too good to be free.
No. Yep.
Hello, everyone. This is Kendrick Tucker, host of the Me and You, the Housewives and Marvel 2 podcast. You can find me everywhere that you find podcasts. I'm on all major platforms. Follow me on Instagram at Housewives Marvel Podcast. Email me, housewivesmarvelpodcast@gmail.com. I respond to everybody. I love the foolishness, the nonsense, the slander, the shade, the positivity, the loveliness, all of it. I love it all. So reach out to me, follow me. Let's become friends. Hello.
Not
Not in the
hello.
Yes, but is the best Bachelorette recapper there.
Yes.
You.
Where is Bennett? Where
Listen.
is Bennett?
Look, I'm loving this Bachelorette journey. I'm on the
Man,
train.
I'm with
on
you.
the
I'm
train.
like, fuck.
I wanted
Noah.
to invite listen, I wanted to invite Kendrick on the podcast to recap the Bachelorette, not with me, with Corey, because
Oh, he likes it?
Look,
Yes.
Corey, I'm ready.
Corey
ready.
takes notes.
Does he really?
Last night we started watching the
Sure.
live one late because he wanted to refresh on the week before with his notes.
Oh.
Corey
Look at
takes
this.
notes. Oh my gosh.
Bachelorette. Watching this episode.
Oh my gosh.
Listen,
Finally made it to Salt Lake City.
on the Patreon, I will run everything else down and get his opinion. When it comes to the Bachelorette, I go like this.
Right.
Like,
And I'll
whatever
just
you
be
say,
like,
boo, whatever you
right,
say.
yes,
And your
yep,
host.
That's what happened. Yep. He knows all the intricacies. He watched last week's again to
What? Are you serious? This is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my
What
gosh.
Obi got us into.
Look, it's Obi. I was like, look, I need okay. So last but certainly not least, Taria tells everybody about what else is going on.
Well, first of all, I want to thank Stephanie for hosting this State of the Union. I always have an amazing time when I talk to Obi, Stephanie, and Kendrick. I enjoy our time together. Guys, if you are single, try internet dating. I tried it for friends and got them. Now,
Yes.
Yeah, I need to start internet dating for dating now because I'm good at making friends.
I know. It's like, damn, some friends.
It's like, damn. I was like, I'm good at making friends, so I'm not bad at this internet shit. What the hell?
well, listen, now that we're all friends, understand your partners have dated all of us. So we
Really?
but you can find me on every podcast platform there is. What else is going on? Podcast. You can find me on Instagram at WeGo Podcast, WEIGO, acronym for WeGo. What else is going on? So WEIGO Podcast. Follow me on Twitter at T like Tom, S like Sam, FAISON. And you can agree or don't agree with something on the podcast. Feel free to slide into my DMs, but please, that includes all of us. You don't have to say it in the reviews because they matter, but slide into all of our DMs.
You go right ahead. It's like you better be good, but I'm kidding. We respond to everybody.
Yes, we sure do.
We
will
do.
respond.
We do. I can't wait because I already know I'm gonna hear some feedback, so I know who's coming, and that's fine because I love all of us. That's the thing. We may joke and say Team Monique is crazy, but see, some of the folks that we know on Team Monique that we interact with a lot, they're very, very reasonable in their for it. I'm like, I ain't even gonna knock you. It's like I was Team Monique, and I gotta stay with my team.
Yep.
My team is at 4 and 7 right now, but still, it's my team. And I gotta keep it
right.
Yeah, they're all right. They're all right.
But guys, it's been a marathon of recording, and I love it because I love us for real.
Me too.
Guys, this is the Mocha Minutes podcast. I will be back next week with somebody else who likes talking about Bravo. Very excited. Okay, guys, have a good week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.